is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
Here's a 2-1. The bouncer up the middle, base hit. Odor is in. Here comes Profar, and this game is tied up. This one's ripped on the right field line. Base hit, no throw. The Rangers have taken the lead on the Moreland double. It is 4-3 Texas. That's hammered. Deep center. Off the fence. 2 runs are in. This game is tied. Beltre has done it again. Loop into center, drops in, base hit. Beltre all the way. Blackman's throw offline. Elvis Andrus delivers again.
Texas Rangers baseball is presented by high-speed internet from AT&T. Now the Rangers playing some exciting baseball. They are excited to be back home. Even with the oven blast going, the Rangers looking to stay as hot as the North Texas weather. Tonight, it's the first of 2 with the Colorado Rockies. And welcome in everyone, along with Tom Graves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us Wednesday night, for Ranger baseball. Rangers facing a familiar foe. They played the Rockies 2 times in Colorado. You couldn't get much more excitement in a baseball game if you tried. Tonight, they'll try to make it, well, a little less exciting, but a win just the same. And Adrian Beltre has been a huge part of this Ranger offense, Tom.
It always has been and always will be, as far as I can see. And we could pick almost any player in the Ranger lineup and highlight them and talk about their contribution, because that's the kind of lineup that the Rangers have. We're going to talk about Adrian tonight. Adrian has been hot recently, 6 for his last 13. Over a longer period of time, 19 games, he's hit .312. He's been really hot against Colorado. In the last 43 games against Colorado, he's hit over 400 and knocked in 46 runs. So he's hot against Colorado. He's hot against everybody recently. Hopefully it'll continue tonight against Colorado.
Yeah, and with a new revamped lineup, the Rangers with the 2 new additions, they'll debut tonight here at Globe Life Park. Rangers looking to make it 5 in a row overall as they take on the Rockies. After the break, Emily Jones will be back with more about today's announcement by Prince Fielder at Globe Life Park. We're back right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today during the Ford Freedom Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T High-Speed Internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. A beautiful 101-degree evening here at Globe Life Park. Rangers will try to turn it up a couple of notches against the Rockies. Before we get underway, let's head down and check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, an extremely emotional day here this afternoon as Prince Fielder announced that his 12-year Major League Baseball career has come to an end after the second neck surgery in about 2.5 years. A gut-wrenching display of emotion from Prince Fielder, very raw, but a beautiful send-off by his teammates as they were all in attendance to listen to him talk, to speak about them, and that meant the world to Prince Fielder.
Really awesome, you know. It's part of my family, so you know, it's real cool to have them here. It's, you know, I got 4 at the house and I got 25 here, you know, or 3. So it's just cool. It means a lot.
And they sent him off with an ovation as he left the room. And as I mentioned, in my almost 20 years of covering sports, I don't know that I've ever seen that raw of a display of emotion that we saw from Prince. And for a guy that's pretty guarded and has been his entire career, to see that side of him was a pretty cool experience, as weird as that may seem, and nice to see Prince kind of let that guard down and let everyone know not only how he felt about them, but how he felt about the game of baseball, what it's meant to him and what it's meant to his family. So we wish Prince, obviously, nothing but the absolute best, guys.
All right, Em, thanks very much. We are set to get underway, and Martin Perez goes to work against Charlie Blackmon. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Martin Perez making his team-high 24th start of the year. It's also a personal best for Martin. 7-8 is the record. Martin has been much better in this ballpark than he has on the road. We'll get to that in just a second. Opposition hitting .275 against him. He has worked nearly 140 innings this year. So Martin Perez in his first full season back from Tommy John surgery. And fires a strike into Blackmon. It is 2-1. Martin in this ballpark 6-1 this year in 11 previous starts. 2.54 ERA, and that home ERA more than 3 runs lower than his ERA on the road. Going to be a tough play, and Martin throws it by Jurickson Profar and into the Ranger dugout. Well, Martin trying to make a play that I was amazed he got to it for one thing, but they had a little sidearm flip, and that ball went out of play.
Not quite as easy for a left-hand pitcher to make the play down the first baseline. Martin got to it, but probably he had a play if he made a perfect play, but that was going to be a tough throw going towards second base. If he somehow was able to get it a little bit higher, they had a shot at Blackmon.
Well, that's going to go down as a base hit and an error on the throw. Error committed by Martin Perez. So Blackmon is going to be at second base with nobody out, and DJ LeMahieu will come up.
No, that's too bad. You make a good pitch, you get a good hitter to just beat one into the ground. It looks like an easy out, but where it was located, no play to be made.
Well, DJ LeMahieu and Charlie Blackmon, a pretty formidable 1-2 at the top of the order. LeMahieu taking a strike. Blackmon, before that base hit, was a .308 hitter. LeMahieu had .327 for the year. 105 games. LeMahieu now coming into prominence in the National League as one of the top second basemen going. Base hit to right field. Chu over to cut it off. Blackmon being waved around third. There will be no throw. And just like that, DJ LeMahieu gets the Rockies on top 1-0.
Well, it didn't take the Rockies long to take advantage of that little dribbler by Charlie Blackmon that turned into a base hit and an error. Mayhew obviously trying to go the other way with a man on second and nobody out. Did exactly that and found right field for a base hit and an RBI.
So, Rockies out in front very quickly. After 2 hitters, they are on top 1-0. Nolan Arenado, the number 3 hitter now, will step in. Arenado was batting cleanup at Coors Field the last couple of days. And he wreaked havoc on the Rangers, as you would figure. Arenado, a .288 hitter, but 30 home runs, 91 RBI. That is those are the top marks for those 2 categories in the National League.
One of the things that Jeff Bannister said after Martine's last start was that he'd like to see him throw his changeup a little bit more often. And that would definitely come into play against a home run hitter like Arenado.
1 ball, 1 strike. Now 2-1. Yeah, the hard thing about Arenado is to get him to swing at it. He seems to be, when he's swinging the bat well like he is now, it seems like he takes a lot of pitches that he just decides pretty quickly he can't handle. And that changeup would be in that category. Makes him doubly difficult to deal with. In the air to center field. That's an easy play for Ian Desmond. There is out number 1. Well, a good pitch down and away, gets the fly ball. Mark Reynolds will be next. And we'll take a look at the rest of the Ranger defense delivered to you tonight by DeMontron RV. And you saw Desmond in center field. We're going to look at the Colorado Rocky lineup. Excuse me.
Well, we saw Blackmon and LeMahieu and Arenado. And this is the 4th place hitter. Reynolds is hitting .279. David Dahl is in left field. Ryan Rayburn, the DH. Gerardo Parra is in right field. Nick Hundley is the catcher. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Christian Adames.
The Rockies as a team coming in 2nd in the National League in hitting. They are a .272 average team. Mark Reynolds takes a fastball for strike 1. Reynolds, a .279 average with 12 home runs this year, 48 driven in. Home runs are down a little bit from what he has hit in the past, but so are the strikeouts. He is putting the ball in play with much greater frequency. 1-1. Reynolds in that just completed series at Coors Field went 1 for 5 with an RBI. And the Ranger defense delivered to you by DeMontron RV. Ian Desmond in center. You saw him with a fly ball, and he's flanked by Delino to Shields in left. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Profar and Odor on the right side of the diamond. Elvis Andrus, Adrian Beltre man the left side of the infield. Jonathan Lucroy is behind the plate. And Martin Perez on the hill for the Rangers. Little calling card, Martin Perez. That was the other thing that Jeff Bannister suggested that he would like to see Martin do, and that's work inside, keep hitters a little bit honest, especially right-handers.
Yeah, if you let the hitters dive out over the plate and you're predictable with a fastball, you make it pretty easy for the hitter. But if you pitch inside and feature a pretty good changeup, that gives you a little bit different look. And already in the game, you've seen a couple of pitches inside and at least 3 or 4 changeups.
Now the important pitch of the at-bat is what you follow that high-tight fastball up with. I mean, it's a great idea to work inside more, but if you don't follow it up with a quality pitch that takes advantage of the doubt you just put in a hitter's mind, you've kind of wasted that. Now we'll see what Lucroy and Martin Perez come up with. Got a double play ground ball. Odor drops it, and now everybody is safe. Tailor-made double play ball, and Rougned Odor just tried to throw it before he secured it in his glove.
Well, that's too bad because he followed it up with an excellent pitch, Buzz. He threw the fastball up and in, came back with, again, a changeup. Reynolds was out in front, hit it right off the end of the bat, and Rougned just took his eye off the ball. There's no play at second. He didn't have to worry about the runner. LeMahieu was a long way from second base. He just took his eye off the ball and missed a ball that he'll catch 999 times out of 1,000.
Well, the Rangers, who had been playing very well defensively, they had gotten up to 8th in the American League in defense. They've now seen their 4 straight errorless game streak go by the wayside. 2 miscues here in the first inning. Still just 1 out. David Dahl was very impressive in the 2 games we saw him in Colorado. Steps in.
Yeah, that's about as easy a double play as you'll ever have. You have no worry about either runner. Ball wasn't hit that hard.
Tough play for Beltre. Wind pushing it. Beltre trying to battle the tarp and the stands and the elements. 1 strike.
He went after it full speed and took a couple of looks at it, made a couple adjustments, got near it, but because of the tarp and running out of room, he couldn't quite get there. If it was a foot shorter, he would have had it.
So after all that, it comes back to an 0-1 count. Perez a check of second. And a ground ball to Profar. 1 at second. The return not in time. Ball just not quite hit sharply enough with Profar playing back behind the runner. They do get the force at second. That's out number 2. Now runners at first and third for Ryan Rayburn.
I'd really like to limit the damage here to 1 run. Well, obviously, if Martin made the play on the first dribbler, it's an entirely different inning. Probably would have been an entirely different inning if he had just hung on to the ball and not tried to make a throw. In the meantime, if you can take those 2 errors, a double play that wasn't turned, and get out of it with only 1 run, still be in pretty good shape.
Yep.
There's another changeup.
Be a pretty good job of pitching by Martin Perez.
Now, he's definitely taken the advice to throw more changeups to Hart. That's at least 5 or 6 changeups out of 18 pitches.
Ryan Rayburn, a .232 hitter.
There's another one.
Down to the count now, 0-2. And watching Jonathan Lucroy too work with pitchers, and Lucroy's been given a lot of credit by everybody that's been around him about how much he studies, how much video he watches of not the other team, but of his own pitchers to try and figure out what they do best, when they like to do things. He's trying to take a crash course on Ranger pitching philosophy.
If you were the Colorado Rockies and you got an advance scouting report from Martin's last start, you would probably be susceptible right off the bat to the changeup because he didn't throw many of them.
That's right.
He probably said, look, this guy throws a lot of fastballs out over the plate. Be ready. And already have seen bad swings at a number of changeups.
Yeah, the game you're talking about, Tom, in Baltimore, he probably
maybe Baltimore.
Yeah, probably threw a handful of them, or excuse me, in Houston. I'm sorry. That was the night that he matched up with Dallas Keuchel when Keuchel shut out the Rangers, but probably only threw a handful of changeups that I can remember.
Yeah, he threw so few changeups that I don't think it ever entered into the radar of the hitter in that game.
Well, he's evened the count out now to Rayburn at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. LeMahieu at third. David Dahl over at first. Ranger infield, as you will note, a step or so around to the left. Outfield in a similar fashion. Perez coming back to the plate. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball, Martin. That's a good job of pitching for the young man to work around the couple of errors. He allows a run on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. After a half inning, Rockies 1, Rangers coming up. Come to bat for the first time tonight. Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Rangers batting order.
Well, Shin-Soo Choo is a .305 hitter in his last 25 games. He's the leadoff hitter tonight. Ian Desmond will bat second. Carlos Beltran, .355 hitter against left-handed pitching. He'll be the DH. Adrian Beltre is the third baseman. Rougned Odor bats fifth at second. Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher. At first base, batting seventh, is Jurickson Profar. Elvis Andrus, a .423 hitter in his last 9 games, will bat eighth, and batting ninth, the left fielder Delino DeShields.
So Jeff Bannister cobbling that lineup together to face the 35-year-old veteran southpaw, Jorge De La Rosa. De La Rosa, a sinker, splitter, curveball pitcher. Those are his 3 main pitches. He'll mix in a different grip on the fastball from time to time. He's been much better throwing strikes in the last couple of months. Came back off the disabled list and spent some time in the bullpen, but he has been very, very good. Rangers will have to jump on him early. You don't want to let this guy get out in front of you. Shin-Soo Choo, a .271 hitter, 7 home runs, 17 driven in. And De La Rosa bumping in strike 2. Choo just 1 for 10 in his career against the Rockies southpaw. De La Rosa has had some success against the Rangers in this ballpark. He has won both of his starts here and on a total of 12 innings, only allowed 4 runs. And he got Choo on 3 pitches. 1 up and a strikeout takes care of Shin-Soo. Ian Desmond coming up. We'll take a look at the Rocky defense behind De La Rosa tonight. Dahl in left, Lackman in center. Parra is in right field. Mark Reynolds at first. DJ LeMahieu and Christian Adames up the middle. Nolan Arenado is the third baseman, and Nick Hundley is catching here this evening. Rocky defense 9th in the National League in fielding. And Ian Desmond takes a ball wide. It is 1-0. Ian now at .290, and that's the lowest his average has been since the last week of May. 20 home runs and 66 RBI. 1-1. Take a look at our 4 leaderboard. There's Ian Desmond hanging around up there against left-handers this year. Ian Desmond is second with Carlos Beltran in the on-deck circle, 4th in average against left-handed pitchers. Desmond also has had some great numbers against the Rockies in general. He has just smoked Colorado every time they've turned around. The 2-1 pitch. This one's popped up into shallow center. LeMahieu, the second baseman, for out number 2.
Batting third, the designated hitter, number 36.
De La Rosa got the ball in on Desmond a bit. 2 up, 2 gone, and Carlos Beltran.
Well, Buzz, you're talking about De La Rosa and how he's pitched well recently. He got off to a terrible start. He was 1-4 with an ERA over 11. And when you look at his overall numbers, they don't impress you, but they're really insignificant when you look at the way he's been pitching lately. He's been a good, solid pitcher over the last 3 years. He's won 16 games and 14 games in 2 of the last 3 years. He has altogether an ERA in the upper 3s, so solid bottom of the rotation guy. And he's pitching well right now.
Rockies love because he pitches well in Coors Field, which after seeing that again, refreshing my memory, how in the world anybody pitches well there, I'm not sure. But De La Rosa has the affinity for doing that. He's a well above 500 pitcher at Coors Field and well below 500 on the road. Beltran, kind of a wave at that slow breaking ball. It is 1-2. Carlos, as you saw, .305 average overall with the Rangers. He's hit .320. A home run, 4 driven in a Ranger uniform. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, if you're thinking back 8 games ago when the Rangers were getting ready to go on the road prior to the trade deadline, this lineup looked a little bit different. Shin-Soo Choo just coming off the disabled list and just kind of working his way back into the lineup. Didn't have Beltran, didn't have Lucroy. Rangers were kind of hit and miss if you will. Jeff Bannister's ball club was on the heels of a 4-game winning streak. They played pretty well, but they weren't real sure about how they were going to fare in the long run. But boy, the shot in the arm that John Daniels in the front office gave the Rangers, it really paid dividends. There's a base hit to left field. Beltran continues his mastery over southpaws. 39-29. I don't care how old you want to be. You don't swing the bat much better than that.
The numbers pretty much tell the story. 23 home runs, an average over 300. We saw a few pitches. He was out in front of an off-speed pitch. And I think once he settles in and gauges a pitcher, pitcher's pretty much in trouble. Don't see many guys that are more relaxed at the plate than he is.
Beltre taking all the way, and the first pitch in for strike one. And normally, when a hitter's relaxed, it spells trouble for the pitcher. When a guy with the talent of Carlos Beltran is relaxed, doubly tough, because he can do a lot of different things with that bat. In at the shoe tops of Adrian, doing a little hopping over that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adrian against the Colorado Rockies. A .327 lifetime average with 27 home runs and 102 driven in. 2-1. And Beltre right now coming in with 3 consecutive multi-hit games under his belt. He's gone 6 for 13. Matter of fact, you want to knock off the 2 at-bats. He's gone 6 for his last 11. Another slow hook that dives into the strike zone. Here's the last 3 ball games for Adrian. A home run, 3 RBI, and all those RBI have been huge for the Rangers. 2 outs with Beltran at first. 3-2. So Carlos now will be free to get a running start at first base. Beltre trying to extend this first inning. Rougned Odor, the Rangers' second baseman, hoping for a shot at De La Rosa. Reynolds will play back behind Beltran. He's on the move. 3-2 pitch, low and inside. Beltre and Beltran aboard. Here comes Rougned. Walt Weiss watched his ball club pitch very, very well in the first 6 innings of both Monday and Tuesday's games against the Rangers. Then he saw the bullpen implode. Rangers scored all but 2 of their runs in the final 3 innings of each game.
Yeah, the Colorado starters have been pretty good for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Got an ERA in the 2s and a nice winning record, 11-2 in their last 19 games. So their starters have been pitching great, and the Rangers have seen that. They saw quality pitching early in those games.
Odor takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Rougned with the average at .280, 21 home runs, 57 driven in. And he hasn't minded hitting against the left-hander De La Rosa at all, as you can tell. A home run in there, and this year Odor has had 6 home runs against left-handed pitching. That's tied for second in the league by left-handed hitters. And the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, nice to be back in front of the home crowd, although the crowds in Houston and Denver, you had a majority of Ranger fans up there, I believe. Sure sounded like it. 2-1. Denver was a Rangers destinations trip. Had 120 Ranger fans on that one, and they were out there making noise at Coors Field. The 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike. Odor in a pretty good spot here. First and second with 2 outs. 3-1. Jonathan Lucroy, the Ranger catcher, is in the on-deck circle. Be nice to do some damage in the first inning of a ball game for once in a while. The 3-1. Ball forward. That'll load him up for Lucroy. Back-to-back 2-out walk. Following the Carlos Beltran single. Here comes Lucroy. But, you know, they say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. I can't think of a better way for Jonathan Lucroy to introduce himself to the home crowd than to come from the first inning with the bases full. I think if he could draw it up any way he wanted to, this would probably be ideal. Lucroy, 3 home runs in a Ranger uniform already, 16 for the year. He's had 3 career grand slams also. Not calling for that. Been a nice gapper in the drive in. 2 or 3 would be nice. Takes a knee-high strike, 0-1. Bases full of Rangers. See the outfield shading Lucroy slightly the opposite way. The center fielder Blackman a good 10 steps over toward right center field. Big slow breaking ball, and that nibbles on the inside corner. 0-2. Lucroy and Beltran joining the Rangers a week ago yesterday. Joined the club in Baltimore. Had an immediate impact in that Baltimore series. 1-2. Lucroy, a 2-time All-Star catcher with the Milwaukee Brewers. There are the numbers in the 7 games with the Rangers, that 240 mark. 5 RBI, looking for more. Popped up. This one's playable. Hundley will hang on to that, and that'll do it. Rangers have the bases full and 2 outs. Can't get anything home. They strand 3 after 1. It's the Rockies 1, the Rangers 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers 1-0 as they come to bat here in the top of the 2nd inning. Bottom 3rd of the Colorado order to face Martin Perez. Ranger faithful on hand here tonight. Nice looking crowd filing into Globe Life Park tonight. This is the first of two in a brief series with the Rockies. First pitch to Parra is inside for ball one. Gerardo Parra playing primarily because Carlos Gonzalez still out with an ankle injury. He had a sprained ankle that he tried to play on Monday against the Rangers. The tape job apparently was just too tight and couldn't keep it from swelling up on him. He has not been able to get back in the lineup. Parra has been filling in for him in right field. .266 average with 5 home runs. 2-1 now the count.
Yeah, the Rangers caught a little bit of luck when they play 4 games, 3 anyway, without seeing Gonzalez. And Trevor Story, their excellent rookie shortstop, is on the disabled list as well. So that's 2 guys with a lot of production that the Rangers will be able to avoid. Look at the numbers for those 2 guys. Story, 27 home runs and 72 knocked in. Gonzalez, 23 home runs and 76 knocked in. That's a lot of runs. Felt bad for Trevor Story. Boy, he had a couple of months to go to add on to those numbers. He's going to hit probably 35 home runs and knock in 120 runs. What a rookie season.
There's Carlos Gonzalez on the Rockies bench. A full count. Back to Parra. Man, Martin gets the strikeout. Second straight punch out. 1 gone. Nick Hundley coming up. We're going to welcome in Jim Knox.
All right, appreciate it, Buzz. Big crowd here, especially from Irving. You got 500 strong. And Tom, speaking of Trevor Story, this is Teddy Story, Trevor's mom and his dad, Ken, who's a fireman. But Teddy, you're a big part of Irving Cares, and this is what is here tonight. What's that all about?
Well, Irving Cares is a charity that serves Irving families with food, rent, utilities, and jobs. And we had this charity night like the Rangers do often, but we wanted to do it on the day that Trevor's team was coming to play the Rangers. So we've always been a Rangers fan, but when the Rockies come to town, we got to cheer for them.
We understand. And Trevor did make the trip, correct?
He did. He had an injury about a week ago, and he's had surgery, and he's getting better, but he couldn't play. He'll be out maybe for the rest of the season, but we hope not. But
a great story in baseball this year. Trevor Story, of course, from Irving, Texas, and great parents. Nice to meet you guys. And hey, let me see all the Ranger fans first. There we go. But good to have the Stories in the house. Ranger fans as well as Rocky fans.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Teddy. Buzz.
All right, Noxie, thank you. Adrian Beltre taking that little 2-hopper from Nick Hundley. That is out number 2.
Yeah, hopefully Martin can have a nice quick inning. He had to throw 22 pitches in the first inning. 7 of them came after the double play wasn't turned. But he did some nice pitching to get out of that jam, and hopefully he'll have a nice quick inning and get back in the dugout here in the second inning. But noticeably pitching differently than he did in his last start. More changeups, breaking balls. Over his last 6 starts, he struggled. He hasn't won. His ERA is over 7. Prior to that, in 8 starts, his ERA was 3.28, and he hadn't lost. He was 6-0. He's got to kind of find the middle ground between being able to establish your fastball, but also not forgetting about the changeup. That can be a major weapon for him.
Well, Christian Adames, the number 9 hitter. Switch hitter up there from the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adames hitting just 191. He had the unenviable task of trying to fill the shoes of Trevor Story, but in his own right, he's a very good middle infielder. Rockies had him kind of penciled in as the utility man, moving all around the diamond. The 2-1 pitch from Perez. Elvis, a jump throw. Get there, he got it. Nice dig by Jurix and Profar. Great play by Elvis Andrus. No, 3 up, 3 down. Some leather being flashed by the Rangers. Rockies gone in order after 1.5. Rockies by 1. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today during the Ford Freedom Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. The Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the second inning, the bottom third of the order, to face Jorge De La Rosa. Jurickson Profar, a .280 average. And there's that big breaking ball that De La Rosa has been able to sprinkle in rather liberally for strikes so far. Profar, 5 home runs, 17 RBI. Getting his 11th start at first base tonight for the Rangers. One ball and 2 strikes. Might remember we were talking about Jurickson Profar about a month or so ago, and talking about the disparity between left-handed average and right-handed average. Well, that difference is being cut down a bit. Still batting at .299 as a left-hander, .231 as a right-handed hitter, narrowing the gap some. 2-2. Rangers at 20 games over 500. They are trying to get back to their high water mark of the year, which was 24 over 500. Into the hole. Adames comes up, steps on his glove, and can't get up. And Profar will be aboard with a base hit.
It looked like he was going to have a play until he couldn't get up and throw it. Hard hit ball, so he would have had time to catch it and throw it. Caught it, just couldn't throw it. Backhanded it, and just never could get the balance to throw it.
Well, Profar aboard to start off the Rangers' second. Second Ranger hit of the night. Here's Elvis. Andrews on a pretty good run offensively. Makes the first pitch inside. That bluff bunt had Arenado charging down from third. Elvis with 4 home runs, 49 driven in. He had a 3-game hitting streak that's seen him hit .545 in those 3 games, 6 for 11. 2 balls, no strikes. Elvis in the last, or I should say in the 2 games in Colorado, had the game-winning RBI yesterday. Had the game-tying RBIs on Monday night. Hits this one hard, but right at the center fielder Blackman. Profar about halfway to second, had to retreat in a hurry.
Well, that's too bad, because he hit a pitch out over the plate just like you want to hit it. Go with a pitch, drilled it. But they had very good defensive positioning. Blackman was sitting there waiting for it over in right center field.
One gone now, and the number 9 man, Delino DeShields, will step in. In case you missed the news earlier today, the Rangers optioned Ryan Rua to AAA Round Rock. Drew Stubbs activated off the 60-day disabled list. With that move today, the Rangers keeping Delino DeShields, and he will be the left-handed component, or the right-handed component, I should say, against left-handed pitching, at least for the foreseeable future. Takes that pitch low, and it's 2-0. Here's Drew. Stubbs had that foot problem that kept him on the shelf for the better part of 2.5 months. Delino trying to bust out of an 0 for 12. Takes that for a strike. Pretty good off-speed pitch. DeShields just went 1 for 13 on the just completed trip. Rangers won 5 out of 8. They lost 2 out of the first 3 to the Orioles, and then won 2 of 3 in Houston, and of course won the 2 games in Colorado. A pretty nice turnaround for the ball club.
I'd say going into that road trip with the quality of the teams, being on the road, coming home with that record, pretty solid.
A push bunt. Nobody's at first, and Delano's going to have himself a base hit. Well, as soon as Reynolds, the first baseman, charged, LeMahieu had no chance to get over there to beat Delano to the bag. And to Shields, that's the way he's going to break a lot of slumps.
And that was a huge weapon for him last year. He had a number of bunt hits. And he took advantage of the situation right there. You got a left-handed pitcher who fields the ball, but not much he can do with it. Delano is going to beat him, and you're right, Buzz. Once the first baseman went after it, there was no play. The only chance would be if the first baseman stayed home. Once he charged, it was all over.
So first and second now, and back up to the top of the lineup. Shin-Soo Choo, who went down swinging to begin things tonight for the Rangers. One ball, no strikes. Now with Choo up there, how about our TXU Energy Power Player to Watch? The man on your screen. Since his return from the disabled list, Choo has a .333 average. He has scored 4 times, he's walked 3 times, and he has hit safely in 5 of the 6 games. Slow roller to the right side. Going to be a tough play at second. They do get the sliding Delano to Shields for the force. Probably the only play that Mark Reynolds had going that way. So Choo at first now, on to third went Profar. Ian Desmond will step in.
One thing we've seen with Mark Reynolds playing first base, if he can get it, he's going after it. Second baseman was right in front of it, but Reynolds still made the play. They weren't going to get a double play anyway, so either one of them was going to try to make the same play.
Desmond popped out to second base his first time. And again, that big slow breaking ball. Diving in for strike one. He went 1 for 5 in yesterday's ball game. Trying to get the Rangers at least even. He's got the tying run down at third with 2 outs here in the second. And that'll do it. Base hit to left field. Profar scores. Choo to second will stop there. Desmond with the RBI. And we have a brand new ball game tied at 1.
Oh, De La Rosa got the ball in on Ian, just like he did the first time up. But Ian was able to muscle this one. He didn't pop it up. He hit it on the line, softly over the infield into left field. But it's a good fastball, way inside. But Ian is strong enough to still hit it off the trademark and get it into the outfield for an RBI hit.
Speaking of that, I got to ask you, when we have a second here, about Giancarlo Stanton breaking a bat and hitting one off the wall last night.
Well, all I could say about Giancarlo Stanton is anything regarding strength, I'm not surprised. I was out in San Diego and watched the home run derby, and it was just unbelievable. There was a kids area behind center field. I was out there with my grandkids, walking behind the backdrop in center field in the concourse during the home run derby, and a ball landed 10 feet behind us, and it was one that Stanton hit. Had to go, I don't know, 480 feet.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, if you were going to tell me that he broke a bat in half and hit a home run, I don't think I'd even be surprised.
Well, he broke a bat in half and it hit the bottom of the wall in left field. 372 feet or something like that.
Yeah, the exit velocity was probably about 110, too.
It was 95.7. It was.
That's above average with a broken bat.
That's right. Sawed his bat off in his hands.
Wow.
1-1 the count to Beltran. And Carlos takes outside. Yeah, check out that video when you get a chance later on tonight. Just incredible. Well, Beltran had the solid base hit to left his first time. He's got Choo at second, being trailed by Ian Desmond. Waited pretty well on that slow hook, but not quite long enough. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The video I did watch the other day, though, Buzz, was Tim Tebow talking about making a comeback in baseball. You know, I don't know whether he can do it or not at his age, but he is a powerful looking left-hand hitter with a great swing. So he's got some ingredients. He's got the swing and the power. I don't know if he's got enough time to do it. I think he's 28 or 29 years old.
Yeah.
But more power to him for giving it a shot.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, if you think you might be able to,
Go
try
for
it.
Yep.
No sense getting when you're 40 and saying, gee, I wish I would have.
There's about 100 independent league teams that'll sign him in a second.
Yep.
And maybe a major league organization or two.
Runners on the move, and the pitch is fouled away by Beltran. Will reset and try it again. We had the video of that ball he hit in Denver. People showed me where it was, and I couldn't believe it. This was Stanton in Colorado.
That looked like the maximum swing at the perfect pitch in the right trajectory.
That went 3/4 of the way up, just to the left of dead center field. Base, gloved nicely by Arenado, and he gets Beltran at first. What a play by the Gold Glove third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
He ought to be a platinum glove, not a gold glove.
Wow. Well, that'll do it for the Rangers, and only because of this play by Arenado are the Rangers held to 1 run. They leave a couple on after 2. We are tied at 1. Come back to tie the Rockies, and if it weren't for Nolan Arenado, they would have had the lead. But, to your point that Arenado should be a platinum glove, he already has one of those.
He does?
Yeah, he got the platinum glove last year, I think it was.
Wow.
Best defensive player in the National League, and I can believe that. Here's Blackman, a little tapper. Beltre is going to let it roll, and it rolls foul. That may be the most exciting cue shot that I've seen on a baseball field.
Well, he made the right choice. He's thinking barehand it and throw it. Then he realized he didn't have time, let it go, and it rolled foul. Blackman's working on his infield hits today. He had the little dribbler down the first baseline, and you can see the ball spinning and angling toward the line, and Adrian wants to make sure he touches it while it's fouled in case it's going to try to come back fair. Yeah, arms flying, legs flying.
Yeah. Putting the speed brakes on.
Very good non-play.
Oh. If you're ever bored at a game that Adrian Beltre is playing, and you must not be watching, he always has something for you. And most of the time, you haven't seen it before.
Yeah, if you are bored at a game, just watch him. Don't watch the ball, just watch him.
Blackman fouling that back 1-2. There is no such thing as a routine ball when Adrian's around. Oh, goodness. 37 years old, and he's having more fun than any 27-year-old I've ever seen. 1-2 pitch down to Blackman. We'll try it again. Meanwhile, Martin Perez, since giving up the back-to-back hits to start the ball game, has settled in very nicely. Had the potential double play off the bat of Mark Reynolds that could have made the first inning 7 pitches shorter, but nonetheless, he has done a very good job of settling down and not letting the inning or the game get out of hand. Rangers came back to tie it for him. Blackman with the infield single, a .310 average now. 2-2.
You're talking about the two guys at the top of the lineup for Colorado. Place to be hitting in this lineup is third or fourth with these two guys. Blackman's a .370 on base percentage guy. LeMahieu with his base hit is right around .400. So these guys are on base a lot for Arenado and Carlos Gonzalez when he's in the lineup.
Yeah, no surprise this Rockies team is first in scoring in the National League.
No, not at all.
Walt Weiss club has a lot of weapons to work with. The home run's not quite as high as normal. 141 coming into play tonight. That's fourth in the National League. Normally they are right at the top, or either on top or right next to it. Ball's hammered foul, hooking into the seats. Still 2-2.
Glad they got out of the way. A couple of them. I think she's got a glove with her too. That one was hit too hard.
Yeah, she didn't have time to get the glove up.
Even if you've got a glove, get out of the way if you can.
Martin nods in agreement. Another 2-2 pitch.
Blackman hadn't hit one off the good part of the bat yet. But he's costing Martin a lot of pitches in this at bat, making him work.
He got one off the good part of the bat yesterday. He won off A.J. Griffin leading off the game. 7th time this year he's led off a game with a home run. Hit it about 440 feet to right field. And another foul ball. Martin, 44 pitches under his belt. 28 strikes so far and 16 balls. Martin, the 25-year-old from Venezuela.
He keeps firing that fastball in. Blackman keeps swinging it at it. But he can't keep it fair, but he's making contact with it. Everybody's glad to be getting out of the way.
No kidding.
Her heart's still pounding. Hold that glove up in front of your face.
Now Blackman tired of waiting.
Yeah, the girl.
There you go.
Get it up there.
And Blackman poking one the other way.
Boy, if this doesn't frustrate a pitcher, I don't know what does. He made about 7 or 8 good pitches to Blackman, and Blackman just waving at him and fouling him off and hanging in there.
Yeah, our Fox tracker showed you the dispersion of those pitches. I mean, they're 2 feet between the inside pitch and that one number 11 that he just fouled off the other way. That's a lot of area to cover. And another chopper foul.
He's thrown him an innings worth of pitches and doesn't have an out.
Yeah, number 13 coming up. And Jonathan Lucroy out to visit. And this is a good visit, too, from the catcher. Give your pitcher a chance to kind of reset mentally. You keep throwing strike after or pitch after pitch and then fouled off. You don't take any time in between. The next thing you know, you throw one down the middle and he hits one out of the ballpark. Lucroy going out and make sure that he gets a little breather and refocus now to make a quality pitch. It's 2-2 to the leadoff man here in the 3rd inning. line to left. The Shields will have to pull up and play it on a hop, and Blackman wins that 13 pitch at bat. Well, he's 2 for 2. Now DJ LeMahieu coming up.
Yeah, Martin only gives up a 158 batting average to left-hand hitters, which tells you what a great at bat that was for Blackman. And you see all the pitches he fouled off, inside, outside, and then got one out over the plate and hit it pretty hard.
Now, that's the third Rocky hit of the evening against Martin Perez, 2 of them by Charlie Blackman at first base.
He'd be better off if that little dribbler he hit on the first pitch stayed fair for a base hit.
Would have saved him 8 or 9 pitches. First pitch floats in to LeMahieu. Strike 1. LeMahieu lined a single to right field his first time. This is a dangerous duo from another standpoint. Blackman runs extremely well at first. And we saw LeMahieu, his ability to use the bat, taking the ball the other way. We'll take a look at our Kubota power stats. Martin Perez on the mound. 29 double play grounders this season. That's 2 shy of the Rangers record. C.J. Wilson back in 2011 at 31. Rate he's gone. He's probably got about 5 more starts. C.J., Rick Honeycutt, Kevin Brown, Matt Harrison all had 30.
What did Matt have one day at Yankee Stadium? I think he had five in one game.
1-2. Good look from our RF camera roaming around Globe Life Park, showing you that down the left field line. Changeup floats outside, and that runs the count full. So Perez able to get ahead, but then not able to make a pitch to get LeMahieu to offer at it. He has run the count full. LeMahieu hitting second, be followed by Arenado.
Yeah, LeMahieu's an ideal second place hitter. He doesn't strike out very much. He walks a solid number, so he makes contact. Plus, he's a good hitter, a .320 hitter, and he uses the whole field. Perfect number 2 hitter.
Blackman staying put, and ball 4 puts 2 on with nobody out. Yeah, a visit on the mound, and we're going to go down and visit with Emily Jones.
Well, this summer, Ozarka Water putting on some RBI clinics, or baseball clinics, I should say, for the Rangers RBI programs. The players and coaches serve as coaches for these programs, and among those, Jurickson Profar.
I just like being with kids. You know, they're gonna be the future Rangers. So it's good. It's good for me to hang out with them and teach them a little stuff and to get them ready.
Always good to see the guys giving back in the community. The kids obviously have a good time, but as you can see by the smile on Jurickson's face, the guys have a good time as well, gentlemen. All
right, thank you very much, Emily. That's something that Rangers are very cognizant of, giving back to the community. Rangers Baseball Foundation, the RBI program, and all of it gets the community very much involved. 0-1 the count to Arenado. Young third baseman fly to center his first time up. That's backing out of play. And again, Martin able to jump in front of the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Arenado now 4 out of 8 in the first 2 games plus 1 at bat in this series. 4 runs driven in. He is the big run producer right in the middle of this Colorado order. Still 0-2. Fourth year in the major leagues, just 25 years of age. That is 100th career home run the other night. youngest Rocky to get to 100 in his career. RBI the leader this year. Arenado right there at the top. He is 7 ahead of Jay Bruce. Blackman able to get in under the tag of Rougned Odor. Leadoff single by Blackman, a walk to LeMahieu. Second and first, respectively. Arenado with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Runners on the move. The pitch is fouled away.
They'll try to return the double steal favor.
Rangers on Monday night pulled that double steal in the 9th inning, a critical juncture of the game. They were down by 2. And Odor and Profar at second and first, and on the first pitch, they took off. Swipe third and second. Set up the game-tying 2-run single by Elvis Andrus. Another 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to Profar. He makes the tag, steps on first, and the double play is taken care of, unassisted by Jurickson.
You talk about a perfectly placed ball for a double play. There's nothing the runner could do. LeMahieu couldn't get past him to make him throw it.
Well, I'm not sure that was the kind of double play we were thinking about, but
no,
that is the 30th double play turned behind Martin Perez. There you go, screen him off so he can't go to second. LeMahieu's kind of caught there and saying, I got nothing to do here.
Boy, Martin needed that. His pitch count was rising rapidly with nobody out in the 3rd inning. And to get 1 pitch and 2 outs was huge, especially if you can get Reynolds right here and get out of the inning. That would be even bigger.
Down and in to Mark Reynolds for ball 1. And we will update that for you right before our eyes. The double play ground outs induced to Martin Perez, now second all time, tied for second. A little bit low to Reynolds. 2 balls, no strikes. Reynolds reached on a fielder's choice. He hit the ground ball to short with LeMahieu aboard that could very easily have been an inning-ending double play. Would not have prevented the run from scoring. It already did in the first. 2-1 now. But it would have cut down, what'd you say, 7 or 8 pitches?
7 pitches, I think.
7 pitches.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I guess in the grand scheme of things, not a huge deal. Inning by inning. 22 in the first, 27 here in the third. So Martin getting up there pitch count wise. And a line drive caught by Elvis, moving to his right. Now Reynolds kind of hit it off the end of the bat. And some nice pitching, some nice defense. Rangers limit the Rockies to a hit. They strand 1 after 2.5. We are deadlocked at 1. Well, a group of Irving Fire Department personnel and their families out here to support the Story family. Trevor Story's dad, of course, member of that department. Tomorrow afternoon, by the way, is Throwback Thursday out here at the ballpark. Rangers take on the Rockies in the final game of this series. It's a 1:05 start. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Papa John's Texas Rangers Throwback Thursday collector pin. That's commemorating Michael Young as the all-time franchise leader in hits. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Adrian Beltre leading things off for the Rangers here in the third, a 1-1 ball game. That big slow hook settles in to Adrian. 0-2. Beltre drew a walk back in the first, got as far as second, was stranded there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jorge De La Rosa's pitch count mounted in that second inning by quite a bit. He's up to 54 now. Left-handed comes back to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
De La Rosa's thrown almost as many balls as strikes. In Perez's case, it's been foul balls that have worked his count up so high. But at the end of 3 innings, pretty good chance both of them are going to be over 60 pitches.
Beltre hit that right off the end of the bat.
That was the ball. I looked toward left field, but where'd the ball go?
He chipped that. That's the cupped end of the bat, and it chipped that cupped in right out.
Yeah.
I would imagine that it'd feel a little bit weird to have that happen. Part of the bat leave.
Yeah, he hit it right off the end of the bat.
I smell that burn of the leather against the wood of that bat. Another 2-2 pitch coming. Oh, Beltre squared it up, hit it straight up in the air.
Yeah,
350 feet to center field.
Someone's going to catch up with that slow curveball. He's thrown a lot of them. They've all seen it. And sooner or later, someone's going to wait on it and get a hold of it.
Well, 1 out before Rougned Odor steps in. Let's send it over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Here the Rangers and Rockies in a 1-1 deadlock. Rougned Odor, who drew a walk in the first, steps in. 1 ball and no strikes. Odor showing bunt, and that's just not a casual threat by Odor. He's tied for first in the American League with 8 bunt base hits. He's used that to pretty good effect, and Arenado down there at third understands that. Well, Rougned had a cut at that high fastball. 1-1. You mentioned 6 home runs against left-handed pitching this year for Odor. 6 out of his 21 have come against southpaws, and some of the southpaws on that list pretty notable. And it's Sean Doolittle and Andrew Miller. First 2 that come to mind. 2-1. Rolled on the ground down to Reynolds at first. That is out number 2.
The catcher, Jonathan Lucroy.
No, base is empty, and Jonathan Lucroy coming up. Lucroy fouled out his first time up. He's up there with the bases loaded in the first inning, and De La Rosa got him for a critical out for himself and the Rockies. A little bit low for ball 1. Numbers overall this season for Lucroy, that 844 OPS, on base plus slugging. As far as catchers are concerned, that is second best in the National League when he came over here. Head of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Now 3-0. Lucroy with 2 outs trying to get aboard to extend this 3rd inning. Jurickson Profar, who had an infield single his first time up, is in that on-deck circle. Rangers a run on 4 hits tonight. Rockies a run on 3 hits. Rangers have the only 2 errors of the ball game. And ball 4 puts him aboard. Well, 4-pitch walk, and now Profar comes up. Second walk of the evening issued by De La Rosa. Talked about De La Rosa, the difference in the way he's pitching the last month and a half or so and the way he pitched early in the season. Goes right back to command of the fastball. He walked a lot of folks in his first month and a half before he spent some time on the disabled list. Since he's come off the DL, the walks have really been cut down. One ball and no strikes. Profar had that infield single to the shortstop hole. Adames able to glove it, but couldn't right himself in time to get a throw off to get Profar. Well, Jurickson, who's been battling a bit of a downturn offensively. Just 3 for his last 20. And ahead of the count here. Rangers have enjoyed the friendly confines of Globe Life Park. Their .281 batting average at home, some 30 points higher than what they've been able to manage on the road. And they also average almost a run per game more at home. 5.2, and they score about 4 1/4 on the road. So this would lead you to think they are much better at home. They are 34-17. As Profar takes low, it's 3 balls and no strikes. So De La Rosa now having a little trouble. He's missed with 7 straight pitches.
Got 2 quick outs and throws 7 straight balls. Managers just love it when that happens.
You can see the gray hairs popping out as we speak. Walt Weiss, what in the world here? Well, Profar ahead of the count. He is trying to reach base to join Lucroy. Elvis Andrus, the Rangers shortstop, hoping for a shot in this inning. 3-1. Jurickson taking a look down to third, where Spike Owen, the Ranger third base coach, going through a series of signs. Here's Spike. De La Rosa, a check of first. And Profar fouls off that off-speed pitch.
Getting ready to tee off on a fastball. De La Rosa was probably thinking right along with him and threw something that wasn't a fastball to him. Let's take a look. Doing a changeup.
So a full count now, and with 2 outs, Jonathan Lucroy will be off and moving with this De La Rosa offering. There he goes, and the pitch is grounded to short. Adames on to first. That'll do it for the Rangers. You get a Lucroy walk with 2 outs, but strand him. We have finished 3 at Globe Life Park. It's the Rangers 1 and the Rockies 1. And now let's go to Rick Renner in our Rooms to Go lounge.
What? Right.
Leading off for Colorado, left fielder David Dahl.
Welcome back to Globe Life Park. This was the scene before the game. The Fox Sports Fan Express rolling in from Big Dallas. That's right, on board plenty of Atmos Energy employees, and they come armed with the 811 signs. Jeff Martinez of Atmos Energy is here. I know you guys are having a good time, big Ranger fans, but you also wanted to spread the word about 811. What's that about, Jeff?
That's right. Thank you, Noxie. It's great to be here at the ballpark in Arlington. We're here to promote calling 811 before you dig to avoid accidental damages to underground utilities, like your natural gas service line from Atmos Energy. Calling 811 notifies utilities to come out and locate their line so you know exactly where they are before you start to dig. It's the safe thing to do. It's smart. It's easy. Just dial 811. And best of all, it's absolutely free. So thanks to all you great Rangers fans out there for calling 811 before you dig.
There we go. Wow, it smells like a great spokesman right here. Way to go. All right, Jeff, 811, that's the number to call from Atmos Energy. You have some problems. Appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game, Buzz.
All right, Noxie, thank you. One out on David Dahl's ground ball to the right side. Ryan Rayburn now with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Rayburn batting 6th in the order. He's the DH tonight. 2-1 now. Rayburn went down swinging on a couple of changeups in the first inning. Couldn't get him to offer at that one. It's 3 balls and a strike. Well, Rayburn to be followed by the right fielder, Gerardo Parra. There's Parra. Martin Perez back to the plate. Lost him. Oh, a 1-out walk. The second walk issued by Martin tonight. Next pitch for Perez will be number 70 this evening. Dealing to the left-handed hitting Parra now. Parra went down swinging the first time that he faced Perez. Gerardo Parra, another Rockies player that had spent some time recently on the disabled list. He had an ankle problem. Takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone. Parra came back off the DL last Sunday. And Monday night he was forced into action. Wasn't in the starting lineup. Carlos Gonzalez was. And Gonzalez couldn't come to bat in the bottom of the first, so Parra had to go take that at bat, and he's been in the lineup in Gonzalez's place ever since. 0-2.
A pretty good bet that Parra won't walk. He walked 4 times this year.
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there to swing the bat.
So he came up and said, I'm going to be patient in this at bat. Whoops, 0-2.
Rayburn, a modest lead at first. Could they turn 2? Odor fires to profile.
There we go.
There is number 31. Turned behind Martin Perez. That ties the Ranger all-time record. No, the double play removes the Rockies in the 4th. Nothing going. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers coming to bat in a 1-1 tie. Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth. And joining us now, the president of Rangers baseball operations, John Daniels. John, thanks very much for coming to join us. It's been a tough day for you, the organization. The announcement by Prince Fielder that he was going to have to call it a career.
Yeah, I think very emotional day. See him up there with his two boys, and that was just pure emotion. I mean, it's funny, beforehand, he's in Banny's office getting ready to go in, and he said, you know, I'm going to cry in the car on the way home, but I don't think I'm going to cry up there. And I think first word came out, and he looked to his left and saw his kids and his teammates, and you know, realized just the reality of the situation, the depth of the situation, and
you know, you could feel it in the room before he ever got there.
Oh, yeah.
That if he could get through that without being emotional, it would have been remarkable.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Well, you know, and fortunately, I guess for all of us, you only have to do that one time in your life, and that's the one that really, if you don't leave it all out there, you're going to get down the road and say, gee, I should have said this or done that.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he didn't leave anything in the bag.
No, you know, I don't think that everyone realized, including us. I mean, we didn't know that he was having symptoms for as long as he was, just because he was determined to play through it. I mean, that was, you know, for so long he was the, you know, had the record or the kind of recent record as far as the longest run without missing a game. I think he took a lot of pride in that, being a teammate, being out there for the guys. But he was hurting, and you know, it's a shame. He obviously had a very good year for us last year, but it's a shame, you know, our fans really never got to see the fully healthy, you know, impact, dynamic power hitter that he was for, you know, better part of a decade. You know, really elite player.
I know you guys do your homework, but when you acquired Prince, did you have a feel for what kind of a teammate he was going to be and how he would be in the clubhouse?
We did our homework. You know, I know at the time Mike Maddox was here, and Mike had been with him in Milwaukee, and Mike spoke highly of him from a teammate standpoint. And we talked to a bunch of other guys as well. Talked to some guys that were with him in Detroit, and yeah, we did have a kind of a sense of that. The guys, listen, obviously he's never going to win a track meet, but one of the things that a number of people said was he runs hard every time down the line, you know, and especially for a bigger guy to do that, you know, it really sets an example.
Yeah, and you know that I can remember back the first couple of games that Tom and I did when he joined the ball club. That was what stuck out the most, was that, hey, this guy, I mean, really busts it. He doesn't hold anything back.
No, he did, and he was kind of the two things that stood out for me from a clubhouse dynamic. And obviously, I'm not down there every day, but one, you know, he was, along with Belcher, he was the loud guy in the dugout, kind of chirping, cheering guys on, loud in the clubhouse. He, I mean, literally grew up in a clubhouse, so he was very comfortable there, and he kept things loose, managed the highs and the lows. The other one was, you know, a couple times we've had bench clearing deals, one with Houston, one with Toronto. And you look up and Prince is in the middle of it, not throwing punches, not causing, but protecting his guys. And kind of like, you remember here with Toronto, he and Desmond were the two kind of peeling guys apart. And you go in Houston, he was the one that jumped in front of Odor when, you know, when I think it was Congress had signed to him. And he's kind of like the big brother enforcer in some ways, you know, protector of the guys, and definitely a unique role.
Yeah, I can, from that standpoint too. Good job hitting there by Chu. From that standpoint too, I remember that game in Oakland when Keone Kela had just come up, and he was struggling at one time, and Prince had made it a point to go over and introduce himself to Keone, kind of take him under his wing and show him the ropes a little bit. And he went in during the ballgame and talked to Kela on the mound and got him straightened around mentally.
He did. He walked him through it. You're absolutely. I remember that well. He kind of put his arm around him, and I think he had either 2 on or bases loaded or something like that. He ended up getting out of it, and the whole infield kind of walked off with him. Prince had his arm around him. And at the beginning of last year, you know, we had 2 rookies on the team, and that made the team out of spring training. It was Kela and DeShields, and you know, really, Prince was the guy that took those guys very quietly, took those guys under his wing the first month or so, and made sure they got their feet on the ground here in DFW and were comfortable. So, you know, a lot of different roles he played on the team that most people don't get to see.
I realize that he may not have thought much farther than today, but is he the kind of guy, do you anticipate he would stay in baseball, that there might be a role for him?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. We haven't had that conversation with him at this point. I mean, I think, depending on what he wants to do, I think he could do a lot of different things. I mean, my initial thought was, just a hitting coach, a batting coach, just with his skills, and you're seeing more and more of the kind of the great sluggers go into that, whether it's McGuire and Bonds and Edgar Martinez, and I think of Prince along those lines. So I don't know if he has interest in that. Right now he's got that neck brace that everybody saw today that he's got to wear, I think, for another 4 weeks, and so he can't be in the dugout during that time just for fear of a straight foul ball, and he kind of jerks his head the wrong way. So once he's cleared for, I think it's about 4 weeks from now, I think he'll be around the club a little bit more through the rest of the year.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see him when he comes back out, and I'd love to have him sit up here and talk to us for a little while about things. He's such a personable guy when you get him one-on-one or get him comfortable in the deal. Have you, changing subject, have you caught your breath yet since the deadline, all the deadline activity, the flurry of activity?
I did. It was a well-timed road trip that I did not go on, and I reintroduced myself to my family, and we had a long weekend, hung out, Robin and the kids. So yeah, it was good, and they got to watch us win a few games on the road.
There you go.
That was really nice.
How do you feel about what you were able to accomplish, what you added to the ball club?
Well, we feel good about it. I mean, listen, no secret. Ideally, we were looking to add a starter. That deal just wasn't really out there. We tried. We were looking at a bunch of different things, even late in the day on Monday before the deadline. But we looked up probably a week or two before that, and I think the reality struck that there weren't going to be many impact-type starters moved, and it was going to be real competitive for them, and we needed to find some other ways to improve the club. And Lucroy, I love Robbie Chirinos, but Lucroy is kind of a rare bird in the game, two-way player, and just a really great fit for us.
Well, Desmond's going to get the Rangers on top with that sac fly. Throws coming into third, and Chu makes it in to score Elvis Andrus. The Rangers have a 2-1 lead as Desmond gets his second RBI of the night.
John, for the people that don't have a feel for it, what was a typical day like leading up to the trade deadline? How many people were in the room? How many hours you were there? And
we had a little bit bigger room than normal this year, and it was good. I think it was a real comfortable group. We probably had anywhere, depending upon the day, we had between 8 and 15 people in the room. We kind of squeezed into my office, had the whiteboard up there, a little table, guys sat around, and it was the first 4 or 5 days were kind of slow. The last 2-3 days sped up pretty good.
Did you have more than one person on a phone at the same time?
I mean, Thad and I have kind of tried to divide and conquer mentality, and so we've split up the clubs to manage the relationships. And so, sometimes we'd both be on the phone. Usually, if both of us were talking, one of us would step out. Sometimes I'd step out regardless to clear my head with everybody in the room. But it was a productive room, and a lot of people contributed.
Great.
John, appreciate you taking the time. I know it's been a busy day for you. Thanks very much, and appreciate you letting us in on Prince and trade deadlines.
Absolutely. Always enjoy coming up here. Thank you, guys.
John Daniels, the Rangers take the lead on Desmond's sacrifice fly. After 4, Rangers 2, Rockies 1. Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9, meticulously crafted for driving because driving matters. The Rangers, courtesy of Ian Desmond's 2 RBI, have a 2-1 lead. Lots of good-looking hot dogs here on Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Night. Doesn't get any better than that. Soft drink, a lot of good baseball going on. And let's go down to Emily Jones.
Well, the home plate umpire was down underneath the tunnel having some sort of maintenance performed to either his attire or excused himself just for a bit. He is now making his way back onto the field. That is crack reporting for you guys.
Some maintenance.
I went down to get a cold towel and a drink of ice water.
I know how to put it.
I knew those guys were robots. They have no heart.
I just wanted to stay safe. Let's just go with maintenance.
Okay. Thanks, Em.
That's a tough night behind the plate for Greg Gibson on a 100-degree night, but nothing like it's going to be tomorrow night for Carlos Torres. During the day game for Carlos Torres.
Yeah. I think they moved the umpiring assignment around, get the young guy to do the home plate tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Hundley starting things off for the Rockies. Martin Perez now with a 1-run lead with which to work. Hundley grounded out to Adrian Beltre, his first time to the plate. 1-1.
Well, the other thing he's doing with his changeup is he's throwing it for strikes a lot too. They're taking it, and a lot of them have been called strikes. And he's definitely thrown a lot of changeups today. And it's worked well for him. There's another one right off the end of the bat. Nice easy out for Elvis.
There you go. That's how it's drawn up. That's exactly what you want to have happen.
Yeah.
Well, folks, fireworks are a Friday night tradition out here at the ballpark. Be sure to catch the next postgame fireworks show coming up this Friday. It's presented by Big Green Egg, and the Rangers take on the Tigers in a 7:05 game. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Well, 1 up, 1 away. Christian Adames, the shortstop, takes a breaking ball, and that is in for strike 1. Adames out on a nice play by Elvis Andrus, going in the hole, made a jump throw that was dug out superbly by Jurickson Profar. I had to put 2 stars on that play, 1 for each of the players. Profar got 1 at first. Elvis got 1 at short. 1-2. Excellent change up there. Adames 189 with the average. 9 runs driven in for the young man. Got him swinging. Back-to-back changeups.
Yeah, this should be a great confidence boost for Martin. I think sometimes a pitcher throws a changeup and says to himself, okay, it worked that time, but they're going to be ready for it the next time.
Right.
This is just a perfect example. This is a good hitting team, and I don't think anyone's hit his changeup solidly all day long. And there it is, 32% changeups. What would you guess it was that last game in Baltimore? Maybe 5%?
Maybe 10%.
10%
at the most.
And he keeps throwing it, and he keeps having success with it.
Well, and what you're saying is very valid too. You throw a changeup, and the only reason you would throw another one is if you got good results on the first one. If you didn't, you'd go away from it.
Yeah.
And when you don't have confidence, and when you understand that it really needs to be a part of your repertoire and a big part of it, then you go ahead and make yourself throw it. And that's where a catcher comes in handy too. He can guide you in that direction. Not that you're going to always throw what the catcher puts down, but more often than not, if a catcher throws a changeup and you say, well, that's probably a pretty good idea, you're going to go ahead and throw with some conviction. That one spins Blackman around. 2 balls and a strike to him. But I think you're right, though. This is the kind of outing that can build on that confidence in the changeup.
Right.
Really lead to some long-term usage of it. Well, they haven't had an answer for Blackman tonight. He's 2 for 2, an infield single and a line drive to left.
This guy's unbelievable fouling
Yeah.
the ball off. I either like walk him on 4 pitches or lob it right down the middle so he puts it in play.
Here, hit it at somebody. Will you please? The last time up, 13 pitches worth. Look at this thing.
Most of those are foul balls.
Yeah.
All the ones inside. There's 5 pitches inside. Every one of those was a foul ball. And then finally hit a pitch down and away hard to left field.
And he rifles this one to right field.
Now, again, we're talking about a guy who gives up an average to left-hand hitters of 160 coming into the game. Blackman had a dribbler for a hit, but he's also got a line drive to right and a line drive to left. So shows you what kind of a hitter he is.
Go back to that previous pitch for you. Look out, coming right at you. Oh, make a play on that.
Oh, is that in the lens of the camera?
I don't know exactly how much those cost, but I know it's more than $1.50.
It's either that or bounced off Dave's head.
Yeah, DJ LeMahieu taking a strike, 0-1. LeMahieu walked his last time up, had an RBI single in the first inning. Well, between Blackman and LeMahieu, they have taken care of the run for Colorado. And they have 4, make that 5 times on base, 4 hits and a walk tonight. Beautiful shot right down the right field line up in the third deck at Globe Life Park. Martin Perez set for the 0-1 pitch. And a changeup.
Yep, another changeup.
Nothing in 2.
That's been the equalizer for him today. We mentioned he had been struggling a little bit coming into the game in his last 6 starts. But this is a good start. The first inning could easily have ended without a run scoring. And since that time, he's only given up a couple of hits to Blackman.
That one's chopped foul. Another good changeup.
And one right after the other.
Well, Perez now at 87 pitches, working here in the 5th inning with 1 on and 2 out. Mentioned Martin in this ballpark has been very, very good this year. 6-1 in the 11 starts here at home. So this one falling right into that pattern of being a strong starting effort. To right field, Chu retreating, has a play, makes the catch, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. We're halfway through the ball game. Adrian Beltre is going to lead off for the Rangers in the bottom of the 5th. Texas on top, 2-1. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9. Meticulously crafted for driving because driving matters. Adrian Beltre beginning things here in the Ranger 5th inning. The middle third of the Ranger order, Beltre, Odor, and Lucroy. Adrian is walked and flied to center field. Rangers on top 2-1. De La Rosa back to the plate, and Beltre chops that off-speed pitch foul. Adrian 278 with the average. Hit a long home run on Monday night at Coors Field. His 17th of the year, and that snapped a 12-game drought that he'd been in as far as home runs. This one popped foul, then he'll be back into the seats. Beltre, he showed you his career numbers against the Rockies earlier. 327 career average. How about in the last 43 games? 14 home runs, 46 RBI, hitting at .411. That's not the place to hit the ball if you want to get a base hit. Arenado throws out his counterpart, one away. And before Rougned Odor steps in, we're sending back over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. First pitch to Odor goes all the way to the backstop. It is 1-0. Odor walked and grounded out. 0 for 1 tonight, a .279 average. Rockies shift the infield around almost into an extreme overshift. Shortstop Adames. That ball taken in foul territory by Nick Hundley. So it'll be a strike to even the count. Seen Rougned do that a little more frequently of late when teams are overshifting with just the third baseman on the left side. But Arenado close enough that he wasn't going to be fooled too much. Had a pretty good jump coming in.
He did. As soon as he showed any sign of bunt, Arenado was moving.
Now the 1-1. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he was ready for that pitch. He just hung it so much it wasn't a strike. But if that ball hung over the outside third of the plate, he would have had a good rip at it.
Odor's had about 4 months of good rips, it seems like. He's been pretty much the model of consistency. He hits that one hard but pulls it foul. Rougned with a 4-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. 7 for his last 18. He's gone 10 for 30 in his last 7. In his last 21 games, he's hit .326. The 2-2 is next. Popped it up.
Ooh, watch out with that bat.
Adames, the shortstop, makes the catch. That's out number 2.
The catcher, Jonathan Lucroy.
No base is empty. Now Jorge De La Rosa will face Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy tonight walked his last time up. That after fouling out to his counterpart Nick Hundley in the first inning. Ball 1 to it. Lucroy, if you go back the better part of 2 months plus, been a .310 hitter. 58 games overall. He's had 10 home runs. That's right off the end of the bat toward the Ranger dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is the guy we remark, a quality defensive catcher, a quality offensive catcher. He's the whole package. Nice crowd tonight. A warm evening. Still 95 degrees at Globe Life. 2-1. Thing too about Lucroy, he's contractually obligated for next year also for the Rangers. Oh, he blasts this to center field. Going back is Blackman. He's at the wall. Goodbye. A Texas welcome for Jonathan Lucroy.
Well, Buzz, you said he'd be pretty happy if he hit a grand slam. I think he's still pretty happy. Fans love it. They're standing up watching that one.
Lucroy with his 4th Texas home run makes it a 3-1 Ranger lead. A lot of smiles in that Ranger dugout, you know?
I can see why.
Yeah, Profar now ropes one to left, but he pulled it foul.
Check the location out. Trying to throw it down and away. Whoops. Right in the middle. All he can do is hope it hits the top of the wall and bounces back.
Profar trying to go back to back with Lucroy. Well, that's a short, quick, powerful swing by Lucroy. It hit the wall, but
405 feet.
Yeah, it was the second wall that it hit. Profar pulling that just foul. Still 0-2. That's a well-placed fathead. First game he's played in this ballpark as a Ranger, and they've already got the stuff out for him. That's great. Little tapper back to the hill. De La Rosa throws out Profar, and that'll do it. But Jonathan Lucroy with his 4th home run as a Ranger, his 17th home run of the season. It's the Rangers one more on the board. They get a run on Lucroy's swing of the bat. We're going to the 6th inning. It's the Rangers 3 and the Rockies 1. For 15,000 fans 14 and older, the game this Saturday will receive a Snapple Brookshires Fan Vote Rangers t-shirt. It's selected by you, the fans. Don't miss this special giveaway. Rangers taking on the Tigers that evening. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Martin Perez back to the hill. He's facing Nolan Arenado, followed by Mark Reynolds and David Dahl. 2 balls and no strikes to Arenado. He is tapped into a double play tonight and fly to center, 0 for 2. Change up and hits the bottom of the strike zone. 2-1. Pop foul behind home plate. That'll be back into the seats. Good fastball.
Very good fastball.
Martin Perez got that pitch. He followed up a good changeup for a strike with that fastball in on the fist.
Yeah, that was one you wish that he didn't foul it off, because he hit it right off the handle. It wasn't going to go anywhere.
Got to look at Tony Barnett, who's loosening in that Ranger bullpen. Reason Martin's up to 92 pitches now. And on a hot night, it's still 95 degrees. And he gets the fly ball shallow in right center field. Trio of Rangers in pursuit. It'll be Ian Desmond for out number 1. Jeff Bannister with the heat element and Martin's pitch count being up just a little bit, making sure that he has somebody available. This is still a 3-1 ball game, and you'd like to be able to head any trouble off at the pass.
We mentioned 7 extra pitches in the first inning after a double play wasn't made. Then in the third inning, Charlie Blackmon had a 13-pitch at bat. He just cut those down to something normal.
Right.
And it's probably an extra inning, maybe.
Yep. Well, you're probably right. So the pitch counts, and he had the one quick inning in the fourth.
Yeah.
That really helped.
But on a night like this, if he ends up pitching 6 innings, that'll be a solid night.
One and one, the count to Reynolds. Now 2-1. Reynolds tonight has reached on a fielder's choice and lined softly to short. 0 for 2 and currently hitting at .277. Checked his swing. It didn't matter anyway. It was a good pitch. 2-2. Martin's next offering. Chops slowly down to Beltre, right at the bag. And the throw is true. Out number 2.
And since that first inning, in fact, the first 2 hitters of the game had base hits. Basically, for 5 2/3 innings, he's only given up 2 hits, both of them to Blackmon.
That's right. And this is a Colorado club that can swing the bat. Whether Carlos Gonzalez is in there or not, they've got some guys that can really swing it.
Mm-hmm.
And to hold them down the way he has tonight, you have to pitch a very good ball game. And going back to that first inning, we didn't talk about it then. I didn't want to jinx it, but Martin's problem is he's had 1 inning that's gotten away from him when he's had problems. And that first inning had the potential to be right in that category.
If there was ever an inning that was going to get away from somebody, that was it after the double play wasn't made.
Yeah, and he gave up the little infield hit to Blackmon, which doesn't make you feel too good about how things are starting. He made an error on the throw. He could kick himself for it. And then there was the error on the potential double play. So a lot of things working against him, and yet he didn't let it get to him. He did a great job of settling down and keeping it at a 1-0 lead for Colorado. And that's huge.
Yeah, and Martin's pretty honest when he answers questions about that. He recognizes that part of his game. And when this game's over and he's talking to the press, I'd be surprised if he doesn't mention that very thing you just said. I worked through the first inning. That was a positive. And I think the second thing he's going to mention, and I used my changeup, right? That allowed me to pitch six successful innings. Hopefully.
He's working at David Dahl now, and Martin has the advantage in the count at 1-2. Good pitch in, and Dahl just able to get a piece of it. Martin rubbing up a new baseball. Jonathan Lucroy says, how about this one? Say, sure, why not? Throw it down in the dirt now. No. There you go. Wants to change instead. Gets the ground ball to Elvis at short. Has that run up his arm and throws not in time. Boy, Dahl getting down that line in a hurry, and Elvis just that little bit of a hesitation. The ball ran up his forearm.
He got rid of it as quickly under the circumstances as he possibly could. And Dahl was flying down the line. Dahl's only 22 years old, former #1 draft choice. And he got down the line, boy.
Just that little bit of a bobble there, and that's all that it took. Dahl can get there in a hurry and brings Jeff Bannister out of the Ranger dugout. He's going to talk to Martin Perez just momentarily, but he's going to make the move right here. Martin up to 104 pitches, and Martin acknowledges the home plate umpire, Greg Gibson, as he walks off to a nice ovation. Folks behind the Ranger dugout, many of them standing, acknowledging the job that Martin Perez did. Tony Barnett coming on in. We'll take a timeout. We're back right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Perez, he leaves after the error charge to Elvis Andrus on the ground ball from David Dahl. So Dahl at first base is his responsibility, on via the air, and he turns the game over to Tony Barnett. Saw Tony on Saturday down in Houston. He worked an inning and 2/3. Tony has not been scored upon since 1979, I think it was. Tony, the 32-year-old right-hander, on now to face Ryan Rayburn, the designated hitter. One thing Tony Barnett has done as well as anybody in the game today, and that's Strand inherited runners. He's inherited 33, and only 7 of them have scored. One-0 pitch coming. 2 balls, no strikes. So Martin Perez, 5 2/3 innings of work tonight. 104 pitches. He gave up 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Very nice job against a hard-hitting Colorado lineup. Now Barnett trying to come from behind to get Ryan Rayburn. Two and one. Rayburn tonight has walked and struck out. Rockies, one of those teams that go with an 8-man bullpen, so only 3 men on the bench. And of course, Carlos Gonzalez, one of those 3 who probably cannot play defensively. So if Walt Weiss were to use him, speaking of Carlos Gonzalez, as a pinch hitter, it would be a double move. They'd have to get somebody to play defensively for him. Here's Gonzalez. Got that bad right ankle. 3-1 the count. And ball 4, that puts 2 aboard. And Gerardo Parra is coming up. Jonathan Lucroy didn't waste any time getting out to talk to Tony Barnett.
This is not anything you want to have get out of hand after 2 quick outs, an error, and a walk. Close the door on it.
Folks, fans attending the game this Saturday afternoon will be treated to an Adrian Beltre removable helmet bobblehead. That's courtesy of Nitto Tires. Be one of the first 15,000 fans out to the Rangers-Tigers game that afternoon. Collect this one-of-a-kind bobblehead. Find your tickets at TexasRangers.com. Remember, remove Beltre's helmet at your own risk. Don't tell him what Adrian will do and take his helmet off. 2 on, 2 out. Parra has struck out and grounded into a double play. Nothing in 1. Ranger infield shading Parra a step or 2 to the right. Outfield a step or 2 to the left. Barnett a check of second. And the 0-1 pitch.
Parra took 2 strikes the last time up.
That must have been his quota.
There was no way he was going to take 2 strikes this time up.
Yeah, that was his quota for the whole night.
And he tapped into a double play. So now you've got a guy that almost never walks 0-2. He's probably going to swing at a pitch out of the strike zone if you tempt him with it.
Crowd making some noise in support of Tony Barnett and the Rangers. Dahl looking in from his lead at second. Ground ball, Profar. On to Barnett. Tony comes in, gives up a walk, but strands a couple. No runs, no hits. A walk and an error. After 5.5, it remains the Rangers 3 and the Rockies 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. It's time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $400 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Lynn Kilgore from North Richland Hills will win $400. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Lynn is going to take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Gonzalo Gurman is on now to take over for the Rockies. Gonzalo Gurman appearing in his 40th ball game of the year. Big, tall right-hander. 5.45 ERA. The league hitting 272 against him. 28-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. Dealing to Elvis Andrus down and away for ball one. Elvis 1 out of 2 with a run scored tonight. And a solid base hit to center and then lined to center. That pitch in, 1-1. Well, Elvis with that average sneaking back up toward 300. He's at 298 at the moment. Pretty good slider. 1-2. Now the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gurman back to the plate. High pop fly into shallow left field. Going out. Adames, left fielder coming on Dahl, and it's Adames to make the catch for out number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, your pitcher, please, for the Rangers, number 18.
Left fielder must have either been playing way deeper than normal or over toward center field.
Number 18, pitching for the Shields.
We already saw that Dahl can run, but shortstop had to go line out.
So Jeff Bannister going to his bench now with the right-hander Gurman on. The liner to Shields has been called back, and Mitch Moreland grabbing a bat will pinch hit for the Shields and no doubt stay in the game with Profar moving out to left field. Moreland hitting in an even 250. Mitch, pretty good pinch hitting, a 293 average. Second only to Jurickson Profar. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moreland facing Gurman. Right-hander with a pretty good assortment of sinker and slider. Mitch brings in a 3-game hitting streak to play tonight. Takes that just off the inside corner. 2-1. Moreland in those 3 games has gone 4 for 11. Remember on Monday night he had the game-winning double in the 9th inning. Drove home Elvis Andrus from first base. 2-2. Go back to the first day of July. 27 games since then. Mitch has hit .316 with 7 home runs. Full count. So Mitch with 1 out trying to get aboard here in the 6th inning, the top of the order, and Shin-Soo Choo waiting. Rangers 3 runs on 7 hits tonight. Rockies 1 run on 4 hits. Payoff pitch. Check swing, ball 4. Mitch eyeballing that. And he is aboard with a 1-out walk.
The right fielder, Shin-Soo Choo.
Walt White's kind of quizzical look on his face. Not quite the Mike Scioscia look of
he's got a patent on that look.
Yeah, he does. incredulity that Socia. And Chu shoots that first pitch straight back and out of play. Shin-Soo 1 for 3 tonight. A 4th inning single. Oh, 0-1 to Chu. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chu had a good road trip. 8-game trip saw Chu hit .333, went 7 for 21. Moreland a modest lead at first. 2 balls and a strike to Chu. Rangers as a team moving up a little bit in the on-base percentage. They came in 9th, virtually right in the middle of the pack in the American League at .320. Moreland aboard via the walk. They have been getting a few more of those lately. Way inside, 3 balls and a strike. And Chu bidding to get aboard via the walk also. He's the #1 man. He and Desmond in that 2-hole will follow. Crowd looking for any excuse possible to erupt here at Globe Life Park. 3-2. Defense shifted all the way around to the right. See the shortstop Adames 4 or 5 steps toward first from the bag at second. Moreland on the move. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second, and safe is Moreland. He steals second base.
Well, he picked a throw that was to his benefit. The ball was there in time, but it bounced out in front of the plate. Bounced up in the air. By the time the fielder could catch it and come down with the tag, Mitch slid underneath it. He had a big lead. Pretty good jump. And just beat that tag. Ramos had to reach up to catch it. Didn't have time to really slap the glove down and make the tag.
Well, Moreland gets in on the theft action tonight. That's the 3rd Ranger stolen base of the evening. Moreland in scoring position. And here's Ian Desmond, who accounted for the first 2 Ranger runs. And an RBI single in the second, then had the sacrifice fly in the 4th. For Mitch, his first stolen base of the year. Not that Mitch has ever been a 25 steal guy, but a couple years ago, Mitch would steal a base for you every now and then. Since he's had all the foot and ankle problems, calf problems, he has cut down his running ventures. Top foul, 1 ball and 1 strike to Desmond. With a 2 RBI now, Ian with 68 runs driven in this year. He has tied teammate Adrian Beltre for the club leadership. Throw Carlos Beltran in there with 68 also. And most of those, 64 of those, with the Yankees. German saying, we need to talk this over. So Nick Hundley is going to go out and have a chat with the right-hander. Desmond, one of those guys, along with Adrian Beltre, that has just torn Colorado apart over the years. He had a .395 average in the last 27 games. That goes back to June of 2012 for Desmond when he was with the Washington Nationals. Way outside. Hundley's reaction was, you called me all the way out here just to throw a pitch like that? Come on. Catchers sometimes are unmerciful about their things like that. Nick Hundley, a veteran backstop. 2-1. Now 2-2. Time call Desmond asked for and is granted time by Greg Gibson, the home plate umpire. Now we're set. Hit hard, but out of play down the right side. And we'll try it again. Ian coming into to play tonight had gone just 2 for his last 24 in these situations, runners in scoring position. He did have the RBI in the second inning in a situation like this. Got the sacrifice fly, which was no at bat. So the worm appears to be turning for Ian. 3-2 now. Well, he has run the count all the way full, and Desmond trying to get aboard. Carlos Beltran, the Rangers DH, is next. German to the plate. Lost him, ball 4. Beltran will come up with 2 on. Second walk of the inning. And as Beltran makes his way to home plate, let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit about Prince Fielder tonight, the end of his career. It was announced today, and Ian Desmond summed up pretty well what Prince means in that Rangers clubhouse.
I think the best way to say it is kind of like, you know, the best big brother we all wish we had. You know, like the guy who, you know, he can put you up against the wall and set you straight, but 99.9% of the time he's just loving on you.
And I thought one of the neatest things today, it was so gut-wrenching to see Prince so visibly upset, but for him to be so vulnerable and to show that side of himself, how passionate he is about this game, how passionate he is about his family, really was a neat thing to see. And you got to see kind of a little bit of that wall come down that Prince tends to put up in the public eye, and it's something that those guys to see, that guys in that room get to see, you know, on a daily basis, how, you know, real he is with his emotions, and you know, what a great guy he is. And so it was neat for everyone else to see a glimpse of that passion that Prince has.
Yeah, and we thank you. Very, very well said. Yep, it's a side of Prince that he doesn't let out very often, but this is a different occasion than most, and I'm sure he appreciates that. But he only has to do this one time. 2 balls and a strike to Carlos Beltran. Switch hitter turning around to bat from the left side now against the right-hander German, and Nick Hundley out to talk to him.
He's working on a fairly long inning. This will be his 28th pitch.
Well, he's walked a couple. And a 3-2 pitch to Chu that Chu watched for strike 3. Two and 2. The more I watch Beltran, the more I think about what you were talking about, Tom, that he never looks rattled, never looks ill at ease. Always very relaxed, very calm. Line to right. But right at Parra, who makes the catch, and that'll do it. Rangers get a couple of walks with Strand 2. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. The Rangers 3 and the Rockies 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. show, at least early. Got the Rangers on the board, tying the game with a single in the second. Scoring Jurickson Profar. Next time up, Rangers still deadlocked at one. Desmond, a sacrifice fly, almost ended up on Green's Hill. Got that one deep enough to score Elvis Andrus. That made it a 2-1 Ranger lead. Then Jonathan Lucroy, his first home run as a Ranger. 17th home run of the year. That made it a 3-1 game, and that's where we are as the Rockies come to bat here in the 7th inning. Tony Barnett back to the hill, and Nick Hundley to start things off. Out of play, deep down the right side. Nothing in one. Hundley has grounded out twice tonight. Both those at bats, of course, against Martin Perez. And Mitch Moreland, who pinch hit and walked in the 6th inning, stays in the ball game. Taking over at first, moving out to left field, Jurickson Profar.
Well, Jurickson has proven to be such a valuable player for Jeff Bannister. Managers love versatile players with only 4 men on the bench and sometimes only 3. So to have a guy that can play first, left field, and any other infield position, that's a pretty valuable guy to have.
Jurickson trying to get the attention of Ranger bench to see exactly where he's supposed to be positioned. With Hundley up there. 0-2 the count. Yeah, it gives the Rangers, and this is what we remember when Jurickson Profar came up to take the place of Rougned Odor, had to serve that suspension. The Rangers at the end of that 8 days said, yeah, well, we're going to keep Profar here because we think we can find him enough at bats during the week to make it worthwhile. He was swinging strike 3, and they have. Jeff Bannister has found ways to get him in at every infield position and in the outfield. I guess it gives him the opportunity too to rest his infielders and give a 4-man rotation in the outfield. Well, first strikeout for Tony Barnett. One gone in here in the 7th inning. Christian Adames, the Rockies shortstop. Big swing and a miss. Adames tonight has grounded out to short and struck out. Barnett with the 0-1 pitch.
Good cutters. One for a swing and a miss and one for a strike.
And we like to remind folks every time Tony Barnett comes in the game too, he's a reliever that has a 4-pitch, even a 5-pitch repertoire if you count the varied movements on the fastball. A pretty good curveball, a splitter as a change. That one's down and in. And that cut fastball sometimes bordering on a bigger break of a slider. He has done a superb job for the Rangers in this role. 7th inning, 6th inning, 7th inning, bridging it to the 8th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barnett now 17 scoreless innings over the last 13 ball games. That's currently the 2nd longest streak in the major leagues. 2-2 pitch. Full count. So Adames has been able to work the count back from 0-2 to fill it out. He's the number 9 hitter, and Charlie Blackmon in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, with Blackmon, LeMahieu, and Arenado coming up, you don't want to walk this guy.
The payoff pitch coming.
And he did.
Odor, kind of a tough second hop, but he throws out Adames. 2 gone. That was just Tony Barnett saying, here's what I can throw you for a strike.
He's saying the same thing. I don't want to walk. I tried to make the pitches. He laid off him. And now I got to throw him something to hit because I don't want to walk him. And he made a pitch. Adames put it in play. 2 outs, nobody on now. That's the way you want to keep it for these next guys.
Well, Blackman a perfect night tonight, 3 for 3. Infield single and 2 line drives, 1 to left, 1 to right. He has 3 of the 4 Colorado hits. Blackman looks like he should play for the Rockies. Mountain man. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I guess the test of that beard is a 100-degree night and then a 100-degree day.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little warm. I wonder what he looks like.
I don't know. Probably about 5 pounds lighter. I don't know what. Now Barnett back to it. 2 balls and a strike. Rangers playing Blackman just about straight away. Infield maybe shading him half a step to the right. That ball ripped off the screen in front of the Ranger dugout. 2-2. Pitches tonight that Charlie Blackman has seen. 27 pitches so far, and he's not finished with his 4th at bat yet. The 2-2. Moreland. Overhand flip to Barnett covering, and that'll do it. So Tony Barnett works a 1-2-3-7. Rockies down in order. We will take the stretch at Globe Life Park with the Rangers leading the Rockies 3-1. Let's take a look at tonight's greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. The Chicago Cubs got their 70th win of the year last night. That's the quickest Cubs team in franchise history to win 70. Go back to the 1945 team. That was the last World Series appearance for a Chicago Cubs ball club. Seattle Mariners came back twice last night. Tied it up in the 8th, tied it and won it in the 15th. They beat the Tigers to extend their winning streak to 5 games. And they are still 7 behind the Rangers. Or I shouldn't say 7, but they are 7 behind the Rangers. They leapfrogged the Astros this past weekend. Adrian Beltre leading off. Carlos Estevez, the deposed closer for the Rockies, is on, and Beltre, a towering fly ball left. That's twice tonight that he has hit a moonshot that came within millimeters of him having a couple of home runs.
Second baseman,
One out before Odor steps in. Let's send it back over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana,
That's funny. They were chanting, "We want A-Rod."
Yeah.
So he came up to bat and they booed him.
That's what they wanted.
They wanted him up there so they could boo him.
That's right.
One more time.
They wanted a proper send-off. Only Boston fans, right?
Yeah.
I think there are a few more fan groups that would do the same thing.
Yeah, I think one right here.
I didn't mean necessarily A-Rod, but proper send-offs are important for fans. Rougned Odor 0 for 2 tonight. A walk and a ground out and a pop out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time the Rangers saw Carlos Estevez on Monday night, he was in the midst of blowing the save for the Rockies. Rangers scored 3 off him. To left center field, that is going to the wall. 1 hop, and Odor with his 7th double in his last 8 ball games.
Well, we showed 3 or 4 of them in the pregame show, and they look just like that. Add another one to it.
26th double this year for Rougned Odor.
Fastball out over the plate, and he did exactly what you hope to do with that pitch. Go with it and line it into the gap.
That had home run sound to it. Well, that is
If
the
he got it up in the air, it might have been.
Yeah. 8th Ranger hit of the night. Odor in scoring position. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy 1 out of 2 with that solo home run in the 5th inning. He's also walked tonight. One ball, no strikes. Note on the scoreboard out here, Chuck Morgan putting up the exit velocity on that double off Odor's bat, 107 miles an hour. That's pretty good exit velocity.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. He roped it.
The 1-0 pitch. A ball and a strike. Estevez on Monday night came into in the 9th inning, gave up a base hit to Adrian Beltre. This with the Rangers trailing 3-1. Odor grounded into a fielder's choice. Profar walk. Elvis, after the double steal, had the 2-run single to tie the game. And Mitch Moreland won it with the double into the right field corner. Pitch. He's made a habit lately of having big hits. Had that walk-off home run here last homestand. 1-2 the count to LaCroix. Now 2-2. Our AT&T high-speed replay. We will take you back last time up for Jonathan Lucroy. The dead center just got over the wall. A line drive that went on out of here. His first home run for the Rangers. First of what will probably be many, many more at Globe Life Park. Lucroy now 4 home runs as a Ranger, 17 overall. His career high is 18 in any one season. So he is no doubt going to surpass that. And no doubt a lot of folks on hand here will see some of that. Three and two. Luke Roy batting 6th in the order tonight. Jurickson Profar will follow. Nick Cunley flashing his signs out as Davis picking one out. Luke Roy pops it up. DJ LeMahieu calling for the fair catch. 2 gone.
Left fielder Jurickson Profar.
Jurickson Profar coming up, and we're going to take a look at our Rocket Arms, brought to you by Quicken Loans. Well, Max Scherzer, 208 strikeouts, first pitcher in Major Leagues this year to reach 200. And Chris Archer, 168 strikeouts, leads the American League this year. Scherzer took a no-hitter against the Indians into the 7th inning last night, and it broken up by Lindor and lost everything. Lost the no-hitter, lost the shutout, and lost the game. The Indians a hot ball club right at the moment, or have been for a while. 1 ball and no strikes to Profar. Jurickson 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored. And Rougned Odor out at second. 2 outs in the Ranger half of the 7th inning. Two and 0. Carlos Estevez trying to right the ship for himself. Profar down the right field line. It is hooking and going foul. Didn't get quite all that. Sounded like he got down toward the trademark a little bit.
Well, Estevez has a great arm, no doubt about that. His fastball reaches the upper 90s. More the velocity, though, in getting hitters out.
Yep.
Hard throwing pitchers find that out every day in the big leagues.
Especially the guys that throw hard and the ball's dead straight.
Yeah.
Now 2 and 1. Profar hitting out of that slightly open stance from the left side of the plate. All the way to the backstop. And down to third goes Odor. I guess we could charitably call that a wild pitch.
Let's see how wild it was. Pretty wild. When you consider where the catcher had set up, for sure.
Keone Kela in the Ranger bullpen. Looks like we'll probably see Keone in the 8th inning. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Profar pops it up. Coming on the shortstop, Adames, to put it away, and that'll do it. Rangers get a double from Rougned Odor, but strand him at third. We're going to the 8th inning here at Globe Life Park with the Rangers leading the Rockies 3-1. candidate for the Progressive Fan of the Game tonight, and here they are. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Great Ranger fans out here at Globe Life Park tonight, cheering their Ranger Ball Club on to what they hope is a win. A Progressive Fan of the Game. And Keone Kela has come into the ball game to take over here in the 8th inning.
Well, he inherits a tough part of their lineup. LeMahieu, Arenado, and Reynolds, the cleanup hitter. Well, you can't get a save in the 8th inning, but you can pitch through the heart of the lineup.
Sure can.
Earn the right to call it a save, I guess. Call it a hold, but with these hitters hitting, should be more than that if you get through them.
You know, DJ LeMahieu takes that first fastball up under his chin. There are the numbers for Keone. His 19th appearance of the year. He's 3-1. ERA is a little bit deceiving in that most of that damage done in 2 games. 180 opponent's batting average against, and LeMahieu squirts one out of play down the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Drew Stubbs just activated this afternoon off the 60-day disabled list, now out in left field, taking Jerickson Profar's spot. That outfield defense now is pretty good speed out there with Desmond in center. Chu in right. Chu is going to be tested. A drive coming on, a sliding catch by Shin-Soo Chu.
He had to decide whether he's going to go for it or not. He took a step, wondered if it was going to be a line drive in front of him, and then said, I'm going for it. When he saw how the ball was carrying, and he made the catch. Good concentration, nice play. Get that leadoff hitter before Arenado hits.
Yeah. Well, there is some of that outfield defense that's so highly valued, especially late in ball games. There's Nolan Arenado. 1 ball, no strikes. One more look at that Chu play. Not much time on that ball to make your mind up whether you're going to go or not go. Arenado hammers one down the left field line, but it hooks foul.
That looked like Stanton hit that thing.
Arenado, 30 home runs, 91 RBI. And as we told you, those are both tops in the National League. And he has just killed the Rangers. Every time he picks up a bat against Texas pitching, you hear some loud sounds. 2 balls and a strike. First Rockies player with back-to-back 30-plus home run years since 2006 and 7. Matt Holliday turned the trick back then. Did he go? No, he did not. Appeal down to.
Pulled the Josh Hamilton play where you check your swing and then hold your bat right at the end of the swing to show the umpire that you didn't go. Josh used to do that occasionally. Not that easy to do.
3-1. And he lost him. Arenado draws the 1-out walk. He is aboard. Mark Reynolds coming up.
First baseman Mark Reynolds.
Look, Spitballin' is the Rangers podcast hosted by Ben Rogers and Jamie Newberg. Get your Rangers news every week and enjoy expert analysis. Visit TexasRangers.com/podcast to listen to, or listen on your desktop, or subscribe to Texas Rangers podcast on iTunes. Reynolds takes inside, and that's going to elicit a visit from Jonathan Lucroy to Keone Kela. And Doug Brocail is going to jog out there to meet with them. And Jonathan Lucroy nodding his head as he's listening to Doug Brocail, and Keone Kela listening intently. Jake Diekman, Ranger left-hander, has been up in the Ranger bullpen. He has been throwing for a little bit, so it looks like he's pretty close to being ready if needed. 1-0 the count to Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 3 tonight, a couple of ground outs and a soft liner to short. It's a good fastball for a strike. Pop foul down the right side. That'll work its way back into the crowd. And it's 1-2. Keller gave up a run in the inning that he worked against the Rockies on Monday night. Ended up getting the win in that ball game. Rangers came back and he was the pitcher of record. The 1-2 pitch. Pulled through the hole by Elvis into left field. Arenado stops at second, so 2 on. The tying runs aboard with 1 out. David Dahl coming up, and let's see if that's going to bring in the left-hander Jake Diekman. Yeah, Jeff Bannister out of the Ranger dugout. So Keller gets the first out. A nice play by Shin-Soo Choo. Sliding catch of DJ LeMahieu's line drive. Then a walk and the base hit to left. So 2 on, 1 out. Keller back to the Ranger dugout. Jake Diekman will make his way in from the Ranger bullpen. We'll take a timeout. We're back to Globe Life Park right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, the 29-year-old southpaw Jake Diekman on, as those folks are checking out their At-Bat app. Diekman inherits runners at first and second with 1 out. David Dahl is 0 for 3. Lefty against lefty. Strike 1.
Dahl's only 22 years old. He was a first-round draft pick, high school kid. He's had a pretty good run the last month. 16 games at AAA at 484. He's hitting 370 in the big leagues.
That was roped by Moreland down the right field line. Around third is Arenado. He is going to score. Choo can't get the ball. It's in the corner. By the time he gets it in, around to score the tying run is Mark Reynolds. On to third goes Dahl. And we have a brand new ball game tied at 3.
Well, the Rangers did it to Colorado the first 2 games. Colorado's returning the favor right here. Got the first hitter and then a walk, a single, and a nice job of hitting by Dahl. Swung and missed at the first fastball. Got that one on the inside part of the plate. That's probably right in his wheelhouse. Put a good swing on it and got it by Mitch.
ball kind of dying as it came off the wall, and Chu had to go in and get it, and it was too late to do anything but keep Dahl at third. So now the go-ahead run at third. Ryan Rayburn, the hitter. Rangers pulling the infield all the way in, and Rayburn takes ball one. Both those runs go on the ledger of Keone Kela tonight, who works a third of an inning, gives up a hit and a walk and the 2 runs. That's out of play off the bat of Rayburn. Rayburn this evening has walked twice and struck out. All 4 Ranger infielders in, looking for the play at the plate. Way inside. 2 balls and a strike. Moreland, as you can see, off the line at first. Beltre, a little groundskeeping there near the bag, but he will be just behind the bag at third, about 10 feet off the line. Good breaking ball from Diekman, 2-2. Jake looking for the strikeout here. David Dahl at third, coming down the line a bit. The 2-2 pitch. Laid off at 3-2. Now Rayburn, the DH, who bats 6th tonight. Gerardo Parra, the right fielder, is in that on-deck circle. Payoff pitch from Diekman. We'll reset and try it again. Diekman gets a sign. And another pop foul. This one down the right side, but that's well back into the seats. Diekman's last pitch, the breaking ball. We'll see if he comes back with another breaking ball on 3-2. Fastball hit deep enough to left field to chase Stubbs back. In front of the warning track, he makes the catch, tagging at third. Coming in to score is Dahl, and the sacrifice fly puts Colorado out in front 4-3. Rayburn able to get a pitch out over the plate and drive it to fairly deep left field for the sacrifice fly.
Right fielder Gerardo Parra.
Rayburn put a good battle up there and got a pitch down, put a good swing on it. He's trying to hit the fly ball, and he got it. Well, the Rangers will have to come back again now.
Well, base is empty. Here is Parra, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Nothing in 1. So this 3-run inning, and that has taken the opportunity away from Martin Perez to get a win. 0-2 to Parra. Jake Diekman with the blown save here in the 8th inning. Trying to finish off the Rockies, get the Rangers back into the dugout, get them to swing in the lumber. 1-2. Now Diekman with the next pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, the smiles that have been so obvious in that Ranger dugout just a couple of innings ago. Replaced by a little bit of resoluteness. That we got some work to do now. Still 2-2 to Parra. Beekman again, okay's the sign. Call, strike 3. No, that'll do it, but Horse was already out of the barn. 3 runs for the Rockies on 2 hits. Nobody left. Elvis Andrus going to lead things off. Rangers now trail the Rockies 4-3.
Late inning heroics once again, trailing the Rockies 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. This game 3 of a 4-game home and home set between these 2 teams. They will close it out tomorrow here at Globe Life. A 1 o'clock first pitch should be nice and cool by 1 o'clock. There you see a couple of the big boppers coming into this one. Jonathan Lucroy obviously making an impact on this Rangers team very quickly. 4 home runs in his last 8 games. And DJ LeMahieu also swinging a very hot bat for these Colorado Rockies. Hopefully we'll be talking about the potential for a Rangers sweep tomorrow. But in order for that to happen, we got to get a couple more runs here in the 8th and 9th, guys.
All right, Em, thank you. Well, Elvis leading off, taking a strike from the new pitcher, Boone Logan. Logan out of San Antonio, went to college down at Temple College in Temple, Texas. This is his 50th appearance of the year. 2.88 ERA for the left-hander, and opposition hitting a mere 153 against him. Left-handers not quite that well, 150. Logan, the veteran southpaw, he is going to be 32 years of age here in a couple of days. 2 balls and a strike to Elvis, who's 1 for 3. Well, the Rangers know where the switch is to throw it in comeback mode. They have done that more than any team in the major leagues, 35 times this year. They have come back to win a ball game. Logan drops in the breaking ball to even the count at 2-2. Elvis hitting at 297, as you can see. 1 RBI short of the half-century mark. Got him swinging. Sharp breaking ball down and in. And there is out number 1 to bring up Mitch Moreland.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
That's a tough pitch. That's a good strikeout pitch for a lefty. That hard slider down and in with 2 strikes. You just don't feel like you can lay off it. Looks like it's going to be a low strike, and just keeps on breaking out of the strike zone, and very tough pitch to make any kind of contact with.
Well, this is a matchup that spelled victory on Monday night for the Rangers. Logan against Mitch Moreland. Logan facing Moreland as the first hitter when he entered the game in the 9th inning. He had the go-ahead run on base at first, and Moreland roped a hanging slider from Boone Logan into the right field corner. So far, Mitch hasn't seen one of those hangers yet. It's 1-1. Mitch walked as a pinch hitter for Delano DeShields back in the 6th. Hard hit under the glove of Reynolds out into right field by the dive of LeMahieu.
That was a hard hit smash, kind of handcuffed Reynolds. And LeMahieu wasn't able to get it either.
Right fielder,
See what happened. Just took a nasty hop on Reynolds.
Trying to figure out a way to get his leg out of the way.
Trying to get out of the way of it. What he was trying to do.
Left inside, and still got the inside of his leg. So Mitch aboard. The Rangers have the tying run on base on the error to Mark Reynolds. Top of the order now, Shin-Soo Choo, 1 for 4 tonight. Hit him. Fastball right above the belt. Literally.
Choo gets hit more like that than any player. I don't know why they do it. I mean, they're not doing it on purpose, but it just seems to happen to him more often. A pitch way off the plate, out of nowhere. No one's throwing at him. Bang, he just gets drilled. Take that one. Didn't even have to rub that one.
Hit him on the right cheek.
Yep. Oh, an error and a hit by pitch.
The Rangers have been very good at making other teams pay for their mistakes. Lyles and Ottavino. And it's going to be Jordan Lyles, apparently, as Weiss out to the mound, and he is signaling for the bullpen. So that's going to do it for Boone Logan. You've got right-hander Ian Desmond up there. He's going to face Jordan Lyles now with the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first here in the 8th inning. Pitching change underway. We'll be back to Globe Life Park right after this. The newest Ranger, Carlos Beltran, with a special discount ticket offer. Get $36 corner box seats for select games throughout August, courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest. Log on to TexasRangers.com/specials and use the coupon code FSSWCarlos. See the game availability and get your tickets right there today. Well, Jordan Lyles, the 25-year-old right-hander out of South Carolina, on here to face Ian Desmond. He misses with ball one. Lyles, former Houston Astro, remember, as a starter, as a matter of fact. This is his first year coming out of the bullpen. He's appeared in 21 ball games now. 3-3 ERA, rather inflated at .590. Right down the middle, 1-1. Desmond tonight has singled, walked, and had a sacrifice fly. 1 for 2 officially. Couple of RBI. He's got the tying run at second, the person of Mitch Moreland. Go ahead run at first, Shin-Soo Choo. Outside corner. 1-2. Late game go-ahead RBI. Nobody better. Carlos Correa and Ian both with 7 RBI of those ilk, or that ilk. American League leader in that category. Off the fist down to first. Reynolds to Lyles covering. That is out number 2. On to third goes Moreland, to second Shin-Soo Choo, and Carlos Beltran is coming to the plate. Now you got a decision to make. Beltran, of course, a switch hitter. You pitch to him with the tying run 90 feet away in 2 outs, or do you go ahead and walk him and work to Adrian Beltre?
Well, Carlos has had 1 hit tonight, but he's had several other balls that could have been hits. A couple of ground balls that were played nicely, and then a line drive the last time up with men on first and second right at the right fielder, Parra.
Yeah, the decision has been made. Lyles and Hundley going to issue 4 wide ones, and Adrian Beltre is going to be put on the spot. A spot that he loves, by the way. Ranger fans in the 8th inning getting their rally hats going. Well, you're walking a very, very good hitter to bring up the best hitter against the Rockies in their history at Coors Field. It's hitting .400 in Denver, and it's going to be a change of scenery for Adrian Beltre. It will not be Lyles that he will face. Instead, it'll be Ottavino. Well, the newly installed closer for the Colorado Rockies coming in to face Beltre. The bases loaded with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Rockies leading the Rangers 4-3. We will continue setting the scene for you when we get back after this timeout. Adrian Beltre in a game situation. Off Scott Oberg, a double to deepest left center field. Drove home the tying runs. Rangers go on to add one more in that inning. They would win it 7-5. And here's Adrian Beltre to face Adam Ottavino. Rangers down by a run here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bases full of Ranger teammates. Beltre tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. And Ottavino, that crossfire delivery, throws the breaking ball for a strike. Ottavino coming back off Tommy John surgery a year ago, May. He has gotten back into the swing of things, and he has not given up a run since 2014. Can you believe that? Up the middle, base hit to center, left center. In to score Moreland. Here comes the throw. Chu slides in. Beltre has done it one more time. The Rangers lead it 5-4.
Well, he hung on the slider. And I have to think that Colorado has seen enough of that. Colorado battles back to take the lead. The Rangers get an error, a hit batter, an infield grounder to move the runners up, a hanging slider, and a base hit to center to go ahead by 1.
Adrian Beltre paying the fans back for their confidence. 70 RBI this year for the Ranger third baseman. Here's Odor.
The first one's a pretty good pitch for a strike, but Adrian got a good look at it. This one, almost the same pitch, but probably a little bit more toward the middle of the plate. If anything, after he saw it once, he wanted to throw it more away from him. But he threw him almost the same pitch, but probably a little bit closer to the center of the plate.
So Adrian Beltre now has tied Joe DiMaggio for 47th on the all-time RBI list. Rougned Odor tried to hit that one to Waxahachie. Adrian Beltre with the 2 runs driven in now, 1,537. Tying the Yankee clip, or Joe DiMaggio, I should say. That's the hat trick for comeback go-aheads. 3 straight days they've done it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Odor. Now 1-2. Rougned has doubled in 3 official trips tonight. Also has a walk. Hitting at .280. On Monday night, Matt Bush in the Ranger bullpen now. On Monday night, Rangers scored 3 in the 9th for a 4-3 win. Yesterday afternoon, they scored 4 in the 8th. Ended up being a 7-5 win. In the dirt, that's going to let the runners advance 90 feet. Beltran to third, Beltre to second. That's a 4th wild pitch thrown by Rocky hurlers tonight.
Yeah, they haven't exactly been easy pitches for Hundley to block either. In fact, they've been almost impossible. When you talk about wild pitches, these things have been wild pitches.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ottavino sets. Chopper to first. Backhanded by Reynolds. He wasn't sure if he had it. Takes it to the bag. That'll do it. But the Rangers come back again. Adrian Beltre, the 2-run single, puts the Rangers on top. We'll head to the 9th inning. It's Matt Bush time here at Globe Life Park. Rangers on top, 5-4. Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By AT&T high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today during the Ford Freedom Sales Event and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Well, Adrian Beltre, best in Texas at getting the Rangers on top after trailing. He has done it a couple of times in the last 3 days and did it again here tonight. 5-4 Rangers as Matt Bush takes over on the hill, his 37th appearance of the year. At a 2.63 ERA. And he is dealing to Nick Hundley, starting things off in the 9th inning. It'll be Hundley, Adames, and then back to the top of the order for Charlie Blackmon. Matt did not face the Rockies in either of the 2 games up in Coors Field. Last time we saw Matt was on Sunday down in Houston. He got the win with 2 innings of shutout baseball. Ahead very quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Matt, the 30-year-old from San Diego. Tried the curveball and didn't miss by much. The appeal down to first, and Carlos Torres, a very emphatic no swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, he located that curveball right where he wanted it. Go for the swing and a miss at a pitch out of the strike zone. Didn't get it. Still way ahead in the count. A lot of things you can do right here. Tried it again. Just ticked it.
Still a ball and 2 strikes. Matt this year with 39 strikeouts and 9 walks. It is 37 2/3. Right-hander is ready. 2-2. Oh, the umpires in the stands thought that was pretty close. Not happy with the call. Elvis to the backhand. A strike, 1 gone. And let's send it over to Dana Larson for a preview of Rangers Live.
Buzz, thanks. It's going to be a real challenge for Mac and Pudge after the game to come up with something new to say about the incomparable Adrian Beltre. I look forward to that. Also, our catcher emeritus gets to weigh in on the newest Ranger catcher, Jonathan Lucroy, for the first time. We'll hear from Jeff Bannister, and also we will have Pudge and Mac talk about that emotional goodbye from Prince Fielder earlier today. So, yes, indeed, we'll get these guys ready for you, and we'll see you after the game, fellas.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. You know, Walt Weiss has gone to his depleted bench, and Daniel Descalso, one of the 3 available to Walt Weiss, up there to hit. Descalso only had a couple of bats against the Rangers in the 2-game stop at Coors Field. He takes a little bit low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Descalso's a good pinch hitter. 7 for 19.
Off speed. Matt Bush now with the advantage, 1-2.
Good curveball tonight for Matt.
I was going to say, that's one thing, Tom, that the American League clubs don't have, and that's guys that are specialists in pitching coming off the bench.
Exactly.
Now the 1-2. Got him swinging.
Oh, that's a good curveball.
Bush breaking out the hammer. He just dropped it on Daniel Descalso. 2 gone.
And he keeps it right where he wants it, too. Almost impossible to lay off it. And because he kept it down so low, even if he made any kind of contact, it wasn't going to be solid contact.
Ranger faithful, most of them standing here at Globe Life Park. Charlie Blackmon, 3 for 4 tonight. Takes strike one. 96 on the outside corner. Blackmon 3 singles his first 3 times to the plate. Last time up, grounded to first. 0-1 pitch. You can tell by the roar of the crowd what that was. Nothing in 2.
12 pitches, 9 strikes, good fastball, good curveball. Going for a first save.
Bush fouled back by Blackmon. 97 with a little elevation. Crowd here at Globe Life Park enjoying the comeback, and now they are looking to enjoy the win. Jonathan Lucroy flashing the signs out to Matt Bush. Says, okay, right there, that's what I want. 0-2 pitch. Tapped right back to the mound. Bush to Marlin. That is a winner.
Boy, and that was some good stuff right there for Matt Bush. He's got a chance in a 1-run game, a comeback potential win, and he comes in for his first save opportunity and had his best stuff tonight. Upper 90s fastball and a well-located, sharp-breaking curveball. That was impressive, Buzz.
Well, it points out, Tom, I think, what we've been talking about the Ranger bullpen, the newly fortified Ranger bullpen, when you don't have to go to Sam Dyson, Jeremy Jeffress. You went to Diekman tonight, but you went to Barnett, and you still had Bush in reserve, and that really bodes well for the last 47 games of the season. Elvis on that first out, the ground ball by Hundley, up and throwing. That is out number 1. Then Descalso came off the bench, a premium pitch hitter, and Matt Bush got him with that big hammer. And then the tapper by the hottest hitter in the lineup tonight for the Rockies, Charlie Blackmon, right back to him, and Matt Bush finishes off a quick and tidy 1-2-3 ninth, the save, and the Rangers get their 68th win of the year. They're back to 21 games over 500 as the Rangers get it done tonight against Colorado. Their 3rd straight over the Rockies, the 5th straight Ranger win. Let's head down to the field. Emily Jones as the hero for the Rangers tonight.
Yes, once again, Adrian Beltre. Adrian, be honest. What are your thoughts when they're walking intentionally, Carlos, to get to you?
I was thinking about you because you told me that I was going to get the winning hit today.
I did. I said we'd be speaking after the game, and here we are. It's really not that bad because it's hot.
I didn't like this part of it.
I know. Yeah, so I did. I said I'll talk to you after the game because I knew it was going to happen. What was it like, though, really? What's going through your head when that happened?
I mean, I like to be in the situation, obviously. Carlos is a great hitter, and he's hitting from the left side, so I expected maybe to walk him. But once I got there, I was confident enough that I was going to get a hit, and I was looking for a pitch up over the plate, and that's what I got.
I talked to Ian today before the game. He said things are starting to feel like they're starting to click.
Yeah.
You feeling that way?
Yeah, we're not quite there yet. We have a good enough lineup to probably win a little easier than we've been doing lately. But, we're playing better. We're winning ball games. That's the bottom line.
And then finally, it'd be a very emotional day today. I know Prince is probably watching at home. A sad day as he put an end to his major league career. What do you want to say to your boy P?
No, he knows. I already talked to him today. It's sad to see him going that way. Great teammate, so much talent. We're going to miss him a lot, but, at least he's going to be healthy and be with his family. And hopefully he get to go to the next chapter in his life and enjoy his life with the family. But we're going to miss somebody, and obviously we're going to see him around here. But it's going to be sad that he's not going to be playing with us.
AB, up top. Way to go, buddy. We'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, Ann, thanks very much. Well said, Adrian. Class man and saying see you later to a class man in Prince Fielder. The game winner from Adrian Beltre with the 2 runners aboard that represented the tying and winning runs, as it turns out. And the skipper, Jeff Bannister, said, yes, guys, we have done it one more time. 5-4, the final. We'll be back with more from Globe Life Park right after this.